Hey guys, Skill on Noodle here. So today I just wanted to create a piece, kind of from scratch, from nothing. Use any reference, not use any like images to refer to, and kind of base it off some other design. I actually want to kind of go in and create something completely from my head and kind of see what happens. So this is going to be both kind of a practice for myself, but also a chance for you to maybe see how I approach creating things and how I would kind of do this if I had, only a prompt to go off of. So I was thinking of creating something like a large, tanky, built-bodied kind of spaceship, something that looks heavy. Maybe it's used for something like some kind of utility, or maybe it is like a war weapon, but I don't really know yet. I'm kind of just gonna go throw to the wind whatever is gonna happen, and yeah, I just want to bring you along for the process. So I hope you guys want more content like this. If you do, leave a comment below. I'll create more stuff like this and try to just cover topics that you guys want me to cover. It's always good to have a prompt to work off of. I still got a couple suggestions and ideas from people, and I got to get to those very soon. Kind of create content more for the people, just create some good stuff. So without further ado, let's just go right in and start creating. So I'm thinking something heavy bodied. I'm not going to go for super round shapes today. I'm actually thinking of doing something that's a little bit more like sharp and jagged edge. So it's both bulky, but it still kind of has a sharp and sort of menacing look. I don't even know if it might not even look menacing at the end. I'm thinking maybe just doing something that's, kind of just, it feels weighty. It needs to feel heavy. Oh, and by the way, sorry, there is some construction outside my house. I do live in a city, so it can get a little hectic. But yeah, it should be okay. It shouldn't be too heavy or too loud. Now I'm saying heavy a bunch. But let's see. I'm just gonna start just kind of blocking out shapes right now, just adding cubes, and you can see this is all pretty simple stuff within Blender. It's not really going to the max with detail, but you really don't want to at this stage. I mean, the more you kind of establish some kind of control over what you're creating, and have an overall sort of skeleton to work with, the easier it's going to be later in the process. If you just jump right into detailing one area as much as you can and going absolutely wild, and this isn't going to work. I could keep going and it just keep getting more and more out of hand, and next thing you know, you're going to have problems and issues, and you don't know where they're at and where they're from, and you have no way to go back on what you were doing. I like to save things I work on in stages, so I'm going to try to remember to do that as much as possible. Just save a version and then move on, and then I don't have to worry so much. So even if I really screw up and I have to stop recording, then I can always just go and remake it, sort of. So I'm sort of seeing something like this, something that kind of has like the front of a tractor kind of look. You can also switch your view modes up here. You can go up here and you can switch from local and normal. So if I want to go along the normal of the face, you'll see it aligns with it rather than aligning with the world. So I can actually move things by their normal. I use local a lot because I've rotated this, but if I reset this, you'll see that's its natural rotation. So I can actually, go back to that pretty easy. If you go and apply rotation and scale, that'll give you problems. And if you're trying to bevel or something and the edges aren't even like that, always remember you can always just apply one like scale, and then the rotation will be maintained, which will let me keep this local axis, which is going to make this a lot easier to edit. Let's see, maybe make this shorter. I'm going to probably put a mirror modifier on it soon. Yeah, something shorter. Yeah, so I'm already liking that. It kind of reminds me of like the front of like the mouth of a tarantula or like a really large spider. I don't know if you get wolf spiders where you're at, but where I'm from, there's lots of wolf spiders, and they have this very kind of mean, mandible, but front leaning kind of look. So I'm literally just going off of what's in my head, but trying to still even refer to things, even though I have to think it rather than just be able to look it up and copy it. But these kind of things are good. You want to practice like skills that might be more difficult and might not actually yield the best results, because in practice you do want to use reference, or maybe you're working for a studio and you have to use reference. You're going to be using what the concept artist gave you, but it's also good to have sort of an internal library in your head that you're kind of saving up. And don't freak out if you don't have that right away in your 3D journey. That's so normal. I mean, you got to practice kind of making everything before you can just go make anything, So it's all about that kind of practice, building up that library, making it easier for yourself to actually go and create things from from scratch, and that's sort of the point of this practice today. This practice today. Oh my god, I'm stuttering. But it's kind of seeing the limits. Seeing like when I look at it after, am I going to look at that and say that looks nothing like what a good piece of concept art should look like, or a good concept spaceship. I'm just turning this into a quad, by the way, but I just want to make sure that I'm practicing those skills so that I know that if I ever am prompted to do something, or I really want to get something that looks unique, I'm able to pull from a library of ideas, because that's really all like a good piece of art or a good concept is. It's built upon the backs of things that came before, greater things. A lot of people consider that stealing, but that's just really not the case. I mean, there is a difference between stealing and taking reference and taking ideas. And for this example, I'm using the face of a tarantula. That that's sort of that what I'm getting from that. And it's kind of creating its own look, and that's nature. Nature doesn't copyright. Nature does its own thing. So it's okay if you go and refer to things. Let's see. Yeah, I want to keep that sharp edged, but yeah, I'm already liking kind of how this is looking. Let me maybe bring this under. So yeah, maybe make that smaller. That okay. Yeah, so I'm just kind of scoping out some basic shapes, kind of seeing what I can create. I'm already kind of seeing like doing like the cockpit right here, two front things. Maybe they have some kind of utility. I'm not really sure yet, but I kind of want more body to this. I gotta see, because sometimes you'll do something and let me also. Here's another thing. I'm gonna reposition to right here. I kind of like to create a nice center of balance and build my piece around that. Makes kind of the later steps a little easier, especially since it's nice and centered. I'm not like shifting and rotating. It's kind of right there. But I kind of want to give this a bigger body. It might not work, but it's definitely worth a try. Let's see. So let me go there. And then I want to expand that along the Z. And then let's see. Yeah, okay. So I'm starting to see what I can do here. I can put one on each side. And this time I am going to use mirror rather than do that weird thing I did at the beginning to make this two halves, where I deleted the center. But yeah, I'm going to do that. Let's see. Yeah, kind of where my thrusters are. Give them a little bit more back room. Okay, yeah, that has a nice like heavy look to it. One thing I'm going to do. Apply the scale. Now do it. Now the bevel's even. That's nice. Let's see, thin that out maybe a little bit. So this actually might not be even as tanky as I'm thinking. This might be a little bit more stubby, I guess, kind of small feeling. This might not have to feel as huge as I might want it to. Let's see, what else could I add? Thinking maybe I kind of want to add some wings. So if I go up here, I also like to lock into views. So if you hit the numpad, 1, 3, 7, and then you can reverse the view with 9. So I can go to 1 and then flip. Now I'm on the back. I can go to 3 and then flip to the other side. Let's see. So these are going to need to be kind of large wings. Let me add a plane. Sometimes it's a lot easier to do it this way, because as you can see, I can just, boom, stretch that to the exact length rather than use a cube and have to go and like select the side faces every time. Sometimes modeling with a plane first and then creating it into your whole shape after can be really useful. So let's see, scale that down. I only want to scale that along the Y. Yeah, there we go. Okay, and then maybe I can duplicate the shape, get one more use out of it. And then you know what I can do is I can take this plane and set its origin to the 3D cursor, just so while I'm working with it, I can change the rotation and kind of take a look at it. Okay, that's looking kind of interesting, but now I'm starting to get a feel from the spider thing, and these wings look like they could not hold this at all. So let's just actually widen this up. Widen. just kind of making it bulkier so that it actually feels like it could sort of lift this shape, you know. And then let me change up the rigging. Again, I'm going to switch this to this. So then basically what I can do is I can orient it around that, lift it up, and then take this one, push it. Let me switch back to, and then boom. Yeah, it kind of gives more of a spider feel, but that still feels kind of goofy to me. So I'm going to expand that out. Or you know what? This might actually do it. That looks a little bit better. Okay. So let me also do this, pull this back a little bit, and then I'm going to just move that along this axis, move that along this, and then pull this back so it's sharper. Okay, that's starting to look nice. I still don't know if that holds the weight it needs to hold, but it's something we can start with. Let's see. Is wings even something we want? You know, these are questions we got to ask. Again, I'm going from the hip on this one, so I'm definitely thinking this can go a lot of different ways. You know what? This is gonna be a longer video. We're gonna restart. I really like this front face, and I know we can do more with it. Let's see. I'm thinking, okay. So what I kind of like is that a spider kind of has this large back, and then should I dip? No, it's like that nice center point, and then maybe just stretch this back for now and just kind of see where the inconsistency is. Okay. For one, make that thinner. Also bevel this down. No. I'm trying to think. There's so many different ways we could go with this, and I really just don't know what to commit to, you know. So yeah, there is kind of something menacing about that. Let me see. You know what might actually be the look? What might actually be the look is if this ship is actually really small, and what it actually does is carry a separated piece of cargo, much like this. And then, oh my God. Okay, so you're totally seeing me go on my mental meltdown automatically from not having reference. But this is the point. This is what we're doing here today. We're just struggling because it's good to, you know. Controlled struggle is better than when it's forced upon you in a moment of need, when you want to just win. If you just want to win the game, you know, make the best art piece, don't do this. But if you want to be able to make good art pieces consistently, I'm gonna guess that this is probably a good thing to do. You know, just practice it out. Let something be. Okay, I might just commit, pull it back, take. I do like that one shape. I do this one thing a lot, and it works very often for me. Am I going to break my rule already and do something round? I like round shapes. Probably not the day to challenge myself on something angular, I would guess. Let me think. Okay, I think I have an idea. Let me try this. So I'm just adding loop cuts and beveling. Super easy. So if I add a loop cut, right click to make sure it goes back to its center, and then I hit Control B. Boom. Now I can bevel it. I can make stuff, and I can even add steps, which gives a lot of control. Super easy for modeling. I'm going to pull this up like that. And you know what I'm also going to do is I'm going to pull this back, let that be smaller, right where it's a box shape, and then put that there. And I'm just going to place these accordingly. And again, I'm just doing this with cubes. I know it might seem stupid how I just keep going back on my work and being overly obsessive, but I tend to do it in this stage because there is a stage to obsess. It's probably this one because, and maybe the later stages where you really want to get into the details and really push it to that next level. But this is so much more important. I mean, this is like everything right here. I mean, if you're putting the time in on this, your ship's just going to look better. It's just that simple. I mean, you're taking the time to do the simpler part and make the whole thing look as cool as you know it can, not limiting it to what it, what time you might be on or whatever. It's like if you spend more on this time, you're actually going to be spending a lot less on the later time. So, always play around with this stage. It's pretty important, Let's see, make it a shorter. I just get really, and it's also the most fun. It's kind of the most like playing with Legos as if you're like a kid. Like, isn't that why we do this? Like feed into that. It's good for you. That's your imagination. It's very important, So just mess around. Just like really play around with this stage because like, later on it's going to become a lot harder and then you're going to be in a whole world of pain and not understand why your piece doesn't work, but it's all because of balance. You might make something that's totally lopsided. If I stuck with one of my earlier designs, I might not have even ended up being any somewhat happy with what I created, So in this case, it's kind of something where I'm like, okay, I can create something a lot better. And I know that, so why don't I, do it in the short term? Okay, right off the bat, you see this, how it looks really cool in the front. It almost looks like a Harrier fighter jet. Again, I don't have reference, so I'm going purely off of, just kind of muscle memory, I guess, or visual memory. It's just kind of like, what does it feel like? But right off the bat, yeah, I like that. Oh man, does it look cooler if it's even? Oh, kind of. Well, right there, yeah. So now this is sort of giving me like a fighter jet vibe, which is really good. That's what I want. Something that's powerful, like a Harrier jet. Like that's like a heavy jet. It's literally like the heavy gunner jet. So that's a super cool look that I definitely want to maintain. So just kind of squaring up my angles here, so it's a little bit smaller. Yeah, and now that'll support some kind of like chunkier sort of wing, or be supported by. It's going to need a heavier wing. So let me think. I might actually do something a little bit more cubic. Right here. I'm going to duplicate this face, and the reason is I'm going to make sure its scale is applied, and then I'm going to inset it. And the reason I did that as a separate object is you'll see. Yeah, what a great reason I gave. Boom, right there. And then I can just delete these outside faces. And now it's a separated shape, and that's a lot nicer. So I can work with that. Might also get rid of this bevel. So here's a way to get rid of bevels. This is kind of a trick. So I set my cursor right along this line so it's even. Oh, by the way, you can hit Shift S, change your cursor. I'm still trying to figure out the screencast thing. I keep forgetting to do it. But you know what? Let me actually fix that. Okay, real fast. I just imported screencast keys, so finally this should work. It never works for me. Did that work? What? I don't even know. I'm not gonna. Am I doing something wrong? Oh, what? What is this? Yes, do that. Oh my. Perfect, nice. Okay, that looks so good. Oh man, look at that. I'm dumb. I didn't even think. Okay, yeah, I got it working now. So screencast keys, it's there. It's gonna be a thing in our life. Anyway, I was talking about bevels, getting rid of them. They're annoying. Okay, so you want to set that line there. So then you basically have now a way to scale this other one up. So when you switch your cursor to that, it's up here now, and then you can scale that to be Z, and then you're stuck with this annoying edge, and you don't want that, so then you just hit dissolve edges, boom, get rid of bevels, and you can screencast keys, which is awesome. Let's see. Yeah, that's an annoying thing out of the way. That's good. I'm happy about that. What? What was I even? Oh, okay. That's what I was making. All right, nice. Didn't even remember. Let's see. Yeah, set that back to our medium point and scale, and then bring it up so it has a mean look. That kind of works. Let's see. Does this need to be brought down? I cannot tell. Let me do that, and then let me see if I can also move this engine to give it a different feel. Give it a little bit more bulk. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm starting to like that. Again, it feels inconsequential to me though. It's strange. It's like it doesn't hit with that weight that I need. So I'm gonna scale these up. I'm gonna make this meatier and meaner looking. Okay, that might actually look cool. Hold on. I don't even know. Let's see. I swear, I'm like, I do something, I'm like, oh yeah, got it. And then I look at it, I'm just like, what? You know, this is why we do this though. This is why we go through this, you know, where it's not for no reason. Let's see. I just gotta keep like thinning this out until it feels right. Yeah, it's weird. Let me see. Oh, if I flatten, do that, bring that up a little bit more, let that kind of exist. You know what? I'm gonna go for weird shapes today. It's all a learning experience, isn't it? Let's do it. You know what? I can make that work. I can totally make that work. I'm gonna wait. You know what? That's not bad. Let's see. What we could also do is add a cube right here. Again, I can mark like cursors wherever. Super useful. So I can like have it edge selected on that. Set it right there. So easy. So awesome. Use that tool as much as you can. You will never stop using it. I used to hate the cursor. I used to look at that thing and be like, what is that? Why is it there? Why do I always have to hit Shift C to reset it? It was very annoying. And then like once I figured out like how useful it is and how to really start playing with it, basically most of the problems I would ever have in like just basically like moving shapes or shifting things to be like equal, that kind of went away as a problem after I figured that out. So play around with the cursor. Just see what you can do with it. Just play with it and you'll figure it out. You'll be like, whoa, I've been doing this all wrong. Like that's just how you'll feel. It's crazy. I'm gonna have to kind of independently. Oh God, this shape got out of hand. That's okay. That's okay. We're gonna start small. We're gonna build it up with different shapes. That tends to work a lot. Sometimes if you're really having trouble, I know I said hold on the details, but when you're starting to get there and you're really starting to make something and you kind of know the direction you're going in, start making smaller shapes into a bigger shape. Like that can do a lot. Because now I'm already seeing that I could mark for a cube right there, and then take that and go SX. Boom. And already I'm like, okay, that's working a lot better. Oh yeah, I'm starting to see this. Starting to see it. It's coming to life for me. That's really how it goes. And I'm kind of repeating the thing I was doing back. Wait, hold on. Yeah, I'm kind of repeating this thing where you kind of cut out two shapes and they kind of fit like puzzle pieces. So that could be kind of a motif to this all, which is good. That's always something nice. It kind of, if you're doing something in one place detail-wise, it's not a terrible idea to just do the exact same thing somewhere else. It usually sells the idea behind something, you know? Because one designer worked on one thing, so naturally there's going to be repetitions and sort of a function to everything. Everything should do that naturally, you know? Let's see, let's pull that down. Maybe pull that back. Let's see. You know what? I might do this, which might create a really weird look, but I'm hoping it works. And then again, just kind of, oh wow, that's fat. I don't like that. When things get too chunky, I just don't like it anymore. If it's like, you know, it has to be kind of slick or sleek. Even if you're going for bulky, it should have like this ultimate built feel. Like really think about the anatomy of these kind of things, and it just does make such a difference. Just thinking like anatomically with it. Like, okay, that's like too bold, so I need to like kind of scale it back a little. You know, it's like it's saying too much and it needs to be saying less. So you guys shut it up. Oh my god. Okay, either way, we're getting there. Yeah, that's starting to feel better. Maybe let that hang lower because it just like has so much weight that you would imagine that it kind of needs to like, you know, kind of feel itself, kind of balance. There is a lot to balance. Like everything is balanced. Like think of like the weight of something. You know, I'm not an engineer. I'm not anywhere near an expert in something like that. But you know, everything does kind of have a natural way to weight itself, and it should feel natural in that. You know, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna mark a point right here. I'm gonna add a loop cut. I'm gonna make it so that that loop cut is at the same place. Yeah. Yeah, sorry about that construction. That is so loud. Literally started like right as I was about to record, and I'm like, I'm not gonna let this stop me. And maybe I should have. But either way. Okay, that's weird. Yeah, I know I'm saying that a lot. I'm just like, I hate it. But like, it's really how it goes. It's so weird. It's like you have to go through shapes that you don't like to get to ones that you do. I don't know. This is weird. Let me add a little bit more. Again, like just thickening in the right places is very, very nice. Who is texting me right now? I'm not checking that. And it's a spam email. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I'm liking that a little bit. You can also scale along one axis by hitting S and then Shift X, and then it'll do every axis but X, or you can just do SX, which will just do along the X axis. Kind of cool. If you didn't know, now you know. Let's see. Widen that a little bit. Okay, I'm starting to like this. I'm getting to like this more and more. You know what? We might weighten it up with some guns and artillery on the bottom later, so I might actually thin that up and then maybe elongate it. Oh, okay. I'm starting to see. So if I space this out a little bit more, and I grab this shape and I scale it and I bring it out, and then I come up here and I place this. Oh, that did a lot. That did so much. That is crazy what like one thing can do. Okay, now I'm like seeing where this is meant to go. Yeah, it was just like overall the wing proportions were not right. That happens. That's a real big part of this, is just letting the wrong proportions exist for a little, and then all of a sudden you see it and it's like, oh, there we go. And yeah, things fit like a puzzle when it goes right, you know? Oh, wow. Okay, that's starting to hit a little bit more. Again, still overdone. Still way overcooked on that bottom. Yeah, I'm gonna set. Again, I like being equal about things. It might be obsessive, and it might. Yep. See how little that mattered. See how close I was. I was literally there, and then boom, and now it's even, and I'm like, oh, that's perfect. I'm like I can even tell the difference I did. Man, but you know, I like being OCD about it. It makes me feel good. Would this be too much? Maybe not. Oh, I like that. Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. Okay. And then we could add like small wings. All right. Is this too much? Am I going too far? Probably. Oh wow, that is weird. You know what might actually really look sick though? Oh, that is weird. What am I on today? Okay, no. I don't even feel like detailing all that. Do I need like wings after this? Like, or is this like good? I don't know. You know how it goes. I'm questioning the logic of the thing that I am creating, you know, and that's what all good creators should do. Just question yourself to a point of oblivion. Don't do that. Let me see. Just soon I'm just gonna be like a sphere. It's just gonna be a sphere. That's all that's left. Or just a cube. Just one cube, and I'm gonna be like, it's perfect. There's nothing wrong with it now, and that's the way I create. It's fun. It's a fun way. It's kind of cathartic. I don't know if I'm using that word right, but okay. I'm gonna have to settle soon because this video has to go on. Oh, you know what? Okay, one final thing, and then I'm gonna move on and say, okay, you know, if this was meant to be perfect, I would very well be on this for another 8 hours. And since it's kind of not a cargo hold anymore down here, I just kind of wasn't vibing with that. Maybe up to here is good, and then just thin that out so that it fits between like a fin, like a dorsal, kind of. Is that a dorsal? I'm probably wrong. Again, that's the thing. I haven't even studied anatomy, but you know, I look at animals and stuff, and I think, wow, that makes a cool spaceship. And you know, my friends look at me weird because I'm like, yeah, look at that duck. Imagine that thing flying through the cosmos, and they're like, what? And I'm like, never mind. You wouldn't understand. They wouldn't, you know. You gotta be here to feel it. And luckily you're here, so you can relate to me. Like this space wolf spider duck thing, it will fly, and that's special, you know. That's something cool. Let's see. Okay, I might have to settle on this and just be like, okay, I blocked it. Now let's go and make this into something like substantial. Okay, this is only gonna get harder from here without reference, but we're gonna go. So again, I'm gonna save everything and just call this model .000. So then when I duplicate this hierarchy, it's already model 001, so I can kind of save my, you know, spot and not have to worry that I'm going to destroy all the work I'm going to be doing. And I can also use this to create other meshes, so I can come back and they're this simple. But you're about to see, I'm about to do the exact opposite with this one, because it's a nice duplicate that I can do things to and mess around with and let be what it's going to be. So right off the bat, I'm kind of seeing that I want to build a cockpit right here. So let me see. Kind of want to build an interior. Oh, I love New York. Oh yeah, by the way, merge by distance. Those were not connected, so now they are. And I can just go and take this and create faces, which connects everything. Yeah, everything should be working A-okay. Cool. Yeah, I'm just kind of creating a cutout, so then I have a place to put the cockpit. I'm gonna add another cut right here. Again, I'm working also kind of fast since this is gonna be just one video where I kind of explore this. Ooh, that is a screwed up topology. Wow, look at that. That is a nightmare. I love it. Yeah, let me fix this. So, yeah. Oh, well, oh, no, 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 no. Oh, that's tricky. Oh my god. You gotta see why it's so lovely, you know? Oh wait, can I put it on steps? Will it? No. Why wouldn't it move by that? Okay, this is what I love. Alright, I'm gonna show you. Everybody does this. Everybody does this eventually. You have to, you know? Like, I'm not letting that not be perfect. It gets weirder the further you get, I'm telling you. The angles get weirder. Oh, jeez. Alright, go into wireframe mode. I'm gonna keep going until this is perfect. Yes. Oh, look at that. That's as zoomed in as you can get right there. Now I know for a certainty. And yeah, I'm not planning on making this shape round, so if you see me using triangles, I'm not going to be subdividing, so usually that shouldn't be a problem. There are exceptions. You can use n-gons. It's allowed, you know? It's not a mortal sin in, you know, in Blender. Why would they even let you do it if you couldn't work with it? They wouldn't even let you, you know. I mean, I guess they would. I mean, yeah, Blender sometimes they'll just be like, "Oh, yeah, you want to try that? Go ahead. See what happens." You know, they can threaten you occasionally, but that doesn't change the fact that, you know, they wouldn't have n-gons if they weren't useful sometimes, you know? Okay, did I go too far? Yeah. I am going to be cutting around this, I think. Yeah, see? Already, I'm like, okay, let me go back. Oh yeah. You can see all of our mirrors got messed up because they were set to be around this origin. When I deleted this object, they went away, so I have to reset that. So just something to keep in mind if that happens to you. Don't freak out. It's all good. Let's see. Should I start somewhere else? I don't even know. Oh man, this is my favorite part, just being in the detail phase. It's always hardest right around here, I noticed. That's kind of a thing. Because you want to like jump right in and start detailing, but then you realize you're like, wait, where do I start? And that can be a little threatening. So, you know, just again, it's all about taking your time in these early stages. This is going to determine what 90% of this thing looks like, because once you're going, you're going. It's easy once you get going, but right now we are not going. We are stuck, and that is okay. But I'm just starting by actually just separating some pieces. Kind of add something. Maybe add a little bevel. Yeah, just so we can see what's going on there. Kind of cut lines, you know, like so there's something going on. And then we can also go and select both these and put a loop cut on each. And look, they're perfectly aligned, which is perfect. Now you can go boom, or let's see. How do I do this? All right, wait, let me do this. Now they're both selected. Boom. And I didn't want those down there selected, but whatever. Alright, yeah. Now you'll see they both shift at the same time. And we can go like that, or like that even. Yeah, kind of like that, because then it's like a doorway. It's sort of where it disconnects. And then, oh yeah, that looks nice. Yeah, and then what I'll actually do is I'll take this whole part, and let's see. Oh, that's an accident how it's angled like that, but yo, honestly, that looks really nice. See? Happy accidents. Bob Ross in it. Ah, I love it. Let me see. Okay, cool. I'm gonna take that off for a second. Yeah, sometimes you just gotta disable those those special things you added because you're like, can't see anything. But now you can. Now you're good. Okay, nice. And these can kind of inhabit into what makes up the cockpit. Yeah. Again, didn't do the mirror thing, and that was kind of dumb. Let me do this. Because its origin is already there, mirror. But I am gonna actually select that and then mirror it around that because I want to set the origin to the geometry. Okay, let's see. So I need like enough space for my guy to sit. If I place a guy in there, I don't know. Oh, that is so much cleaner, which is nice. I haven't added a human yet, but I usually do right around here, so I can actually determine what the scale will be. That is like near perfect. I'm so happy with that because I can put 2 seats side by side, but I want to change this just a little bit. Yeah, just enough for 2 seats. So this is it's going to be a big ship, which I like. Yeah. You know what? I'm actually going to merge these shapes. Oh, God. Select that one, because everything's mirrored around this object. So if I selected that one first, it undoes all that. And then they're like, what object am I connected to? Yeah, so just like playing with the shapes, just seeing what I can create. I'm not going, again, super advanced on this today. I'm going to do a lot of the work with Substance Painter. Haven't messed with panel lines. Might pause during the video and actually figure out how to do that in Substance. I don't know if that's definitely the best place to do it, but it's worth a try. I don't know if I want to do it with like sculpting details in here to give it all that. I'd rather just do it exterior. Let's see, actually, you know what's funny? I'm already regretting my scaling. Oh, wait, I just realized something. When I scaled this, that's all wrong. You know why? Because then it wouldn't line up with this, and I want to make sure that these line up. Oh, wait, they're not really gonna anymore, are they? That's just not going to be a thing. Okay, well, I can save my older work, whatever. I'll worry about scaling this later. I just know I want this to kind of be... I think I want this to be a one-seater. I think it'll work better for the overall thing I'm going for. Ooh, look at that. So there's a reason to lower this below the cockpit. So let me set that to the medium point, and then bring that down to here. So it's just below. Oh God, why is that a thing? Yeah, kind of like, okay, seat would sit a little lower, and in fact, maybe what would look really cool would be if the seat sat on a slant. I kind of want to make this one-person ship. I'm kind of deciding now. Bring it down there. Yeah, that looks really nice. Okay. So let's see, what else can we do? We can also re-bevel it. Oh, again, doing that the wrong way. Oh God. And I can always separate these by separated objects, these two, if I don't like where they're at. But I just like that bevel on it. Just kind of like that being the natural way of it. Yeah, so I kind of know the direction I'm going with this. I'm going for chunkier details, like kind of a little more cartoony, a little less on like the ultra realistic side of things, and I'm okay with that. Oh, real fast. I don't really need that to be exact this time around. This is already angled, sort of, so I'm like, okay, let me just do this. So then I can just add a loop cut, bring that down here. I'm gonna separate this as an object away from that. I love doing this, basically just subdividing things. It does a lot for your piece. And I can go like that, and then again, I can separate, and then I can draw my faces back together. Make sure I'm in edge select. Close that. Do the same for this one. Boom, boom, boom. Close that, and then, of course, close the backs. So what you'll see is, oh man, look at that. Really nice detailing, really fast in Blender. So easy, so fun, and it makes everything, like, look how cool that looks already. Like how much just meaner that looks, you know? And I can even put another split, like maybe up here. You know what I'm gonna do? Right here. And then cut right here. Separate this. And then again, make that a solid shape. This is like a really fast way to add like panel lines, but I like to almost add like layers of panel lines. So this is like layer 1, you know, like the big whole pieces kind of being separated from each other. It does a lot. It just, I think it speeds it up. It's not for every design, I suppose. I mean, there's always exceptions, but just for like this kind of designing, that looks really good already. Like that's already starting to, let's look at it through like a different matte cap or like a different studio lighting setup. Yeah, so we're already seeing, I'm just gonna turn on a few things that I like to turn on. Not always suggested to turn this on, especially if you're sculpting. I just like it, and I kind of know how to look past it a little bit, so I kind of have fun with it. Oh yeah, that's starting to look really, really nice. Another thing I also like to do is sometimes go to Studio, and I'll go by object, or wait, random, and then it'll make every object like a different color, which is really nice, because then I can kind of see how the pieces are separating, all the separate details that are going into it. But yeah, I think I have a design theory like going forward with this that I can kind of follow and make really feel like established. Yeah, I'm starting to see it's like kind of like one of those little bulldozer things, like those little like tractor bulldozers that you see like for like home landscaping kind of deal, like somebody's digging out their front yard or something. Like not a huge bulldozer. I mean, this thing is huge, probably more in size, even bigger than a bulldozer, but I kind of like the design of that where it almost has the feel of like this sort of steel cage kind of look. It's not super advanced tech. It's kind of rustic. It's, you know, maybe like a low altitude kind of flying spaceship. I don't know. I'm just thinking about the world this thing might live in, you know, and that's kind of a good place to start a lot. Because you can always, you know, change it up as you go along, but having that sort of like, okay, what is this thing at its core? Once you get to this point, is kind of good because you can sort of set yourself up to have just more success with it. It's just going to be a lot easier. Okay, so this one is interesting. I'm going to remove this piece, and I am going to solid this up. You'll see. So I'm going to set a cursor to there, and then I'm going to make sure I'm in cursor mode, and I'm going to go ESY 0. So I extrude it and scaled along the y-axis, and now it's perfectly aligned with that. Again, I know I'm you know, a broken record with that, but learning those kind of transform tools, super helpful to just like quickly get an exact shape. The cursor is your best friend. But as you can see, once I bevel this, and I'm keeping up that design theory. If I did it up here, I'm going to do it over here just because, you know, and I'm going to try to make it the same. Yeah, that worked out perfect. But this is a little tricky. Rather than like extruding it out, I can just solidify it, and then I can just add a bevel, hit scale, and boom. And the solidify did it all for me, you know? And then also, if you don't want that extra, what's it called? Like that extra, I guess, inside piece, like you only need these side walls. You can go here and not hit, you want to hit fill, but only rim. And then boom, there's no faces back there. So just in case, you know, staying a step ahead. Because today I'm really not trying to do a huge amount of retopology. I am just trying to get this into Substance Painter and start like texturing it and just kind of create something quick. Let me see. I think actually it'll look really nice if I move these mandibles actually out further. And yeah, that's what I'm going to be calling them, mandibles, because I think it sounds awesome. A little bit further. Okay, that looks nice. Yeah, this is really starting to come together. And again, because I'm using modifiers, my edges are maintained. I can always take this off and kind of go back to basics. So it is good to kind of be non-destructive when you can. Just being non-destructive is just making sure that you can always go back a step, you know, and that's a nice thing to be able to do, especially when you get to the later stages of it. I know I keep saying later stages, but it is so true. You will get there, and sometimes it's just a terrible nightmare. Okay, so this is kind of an advanced move. So I want to pull this bevel down, but if you notice, if I were to select this right here, and no matter which one I go to, I could go to local. I'm also hitting comma, and that's pretty close, but I'm going to show you this trick anyway. I could go to the different ones, and let's say it didn't align. So I can go back to global, set it here, and then I know I want it to move down towards this edge. So all I have to do is set my cursor at this bottom edge, select both of these faces, make sure it's on 3D selector mode, and then with the whole face selected, just go to normal, and then it'll scale to that. So yeah, I can just do that. Let me line it up right there. Yeah, that looks nice with it like evened. Alright, yeah, this thing's looking nice. Also, this, very important. Does it feel good like this? I don't even know. I'm starting to think. Now. It's got me puzzled. Let's see. I'm going to pull this back first, because this is going to be tricky what I'm about to do, but we're going to see how it goes. Pull that back to there, and then I know I want these internal edges. So, like, let me go here, hit C. Oh, this is about to be a mess. It's about to be a mess. Yep, once again, I'm going to have to separate these by pieces. And then select that, and then select that, so that when I go into edit mode for both sides are selected equally. And I'm also going to select that. Yep. And then when I select both, look, only those faces are selected, but on both, and then I don't have to deal with all that annoying selection stuff. Another little quick tip. Oh, wait. I only want this face selected because I want to select these three, and I want to move this back, and I want to change the cockpit proportions. What I want to do is shorten the distance between the cockpit and the back. See, again, non-destructive workflows. If I need to change something, if I don't like something, it's easy to change. And yeah, I don't even have to be exact with that, but that looks pretty good. Oh yeah, I'm liking that a lot more, just because, as you can see, it kind of has a more evened out shape. It doesn't feel like front heavy now, or like too, like, it almost looked like pelican-y, and I kind of like having this very like short, stout kind of shape. I do want a tanky sort of feel to this, so that definitely helped a lot. Again, I'm going to select everything. Oh, wait, I can't. I don't want to, because I have that under there. Let's see. What else can I add to kind of spice this up? Oh, I know. I'm going to select both these faces so I have a center point. And then I'm going to go SY, scale that along. Let's see, I'm gonna apply that. Give it one of those. Oh yeah, that just did it. That was the little mohawk it needed. Yeah, again, just pushing and pulling on things, letting things be. You know, you gotta keep playing with this. It's not gonna just happen. You know, it's a slow process, I know, but again, more time now, less time later. That's the theory. Even though the next steps might take the longest, but it doesn't really make a difference because we are saving time. It would take even longer if I wasn't making sure that all this goes as well as possible. You know, and so you're gonna find yourself getting there soon enough. Bring that in a little, or you know what? I like that being flush for now because for editing. Yeah, we're slowly adding bevels to everything. Again, I'm gonna do this and make sure that like the inside faces that I don't see, might as well not see them, you know? They might as well not exist. It's called culling. I mean, culling's more of an automatic function, but you're basically manually culling an object so that you know you don't see that face, don't even have it, you know, delete it. It's less stuff to render. You know, especially if you don't see it, it's not gonna matter. Like again, oh yeah, this right off the bat, I know I wanted to do this. As soon as I created this shape, I was like, ew. I say that a lot to shapes. I know, I'm so mean to shapes. I really am. I'm so insulting. They're my best friend. They literally let me do all this, and if it wasn't for shapes, I don't even think I would exist. So, but, you know, I'm mean to them. I'm like, no, be what I want you to be. You're not good enough for me. I'm very mean. I'm not a good parent to shapes. I'm very mean. I don't like you, and then its feelings are hurt. You know, I don't want to hurt these cubes' feelings. You know, these are beautiful. Look at these shapes. You know, they're not the best shapes. I've seen 3D modelers do insane stuff with shapes, but they're pretty good shapes right there. They're my shapes, the shapes that make me happy, and that's all it's all about. You know, let them make you happy. You know, let it free. I don't know what I am going on about today. I'm on something else. Okay. It's a little weird. It's a little weird right there. I don't know. Maybe move this up higher. Maybe it needs to be higher itself. Or maybe lower. No. Okay, that's horrible. Why did I do that? The city sounds are wild today. People are out here having a good time, you know, and I'm inside having a less good time, I guess. I don't know. I'm having a good time, but... Oh. What just happened outside my apartment? I hear... the kids get out of school near me, so I can imagine it's probably that. They are loud. They scream as if they are in danger, and I don't know if they ever are. Maybe they feel that they are. I don't know, but you know, it usually results in yep, that was nothing. No, nothing after that. Just vivid screaming, and then leave it alone. Okay, yeah, screaming's over. That's nice. Let's see. I also feel like such a goober inside. So I'm like, who is that? What's going on out there? Like I'm some old guy or something. I don't know. I'm just sitting here and I'm just watching from my window. Like what are you kids doing? Hey, cut that out. I've never told anybody to cut it out, but you know, I feel like that guy. I don't want to be that guy. Nobody wants to be that guy. Well, some people want to be that guy, but I don't want to be that guy. You know, let the kids have fun. You know, they're having a good time. They're screaming after school because they're out of school. I hated school too. It's perfect, you know? Not to hate on anybody that loves school though. That's very good for you actually. Trust me. But you know. No, school is cool too, you know? Well, I mean, I went to school, but not college and stuff. I don't know where this is going. Either way, we're building shapes. That's what we're doing. Alright, let's see. Yeah, I'm liking that. Oh, that's nice. I kind of added the thing. What's the thing? I don't know, but it's the thing. It's the thing it needs, you know? And again, I'll delete any faces we're not seeing soon enough, you know, if I remember. That's another policy with this. It's an if I remember policy that I live by, strictly. Let's see, one more bevel. Nice, okay. Yeah, I kind of like that that's tucked back though. Looks like it serves more function. Alright, yeah, I'm feeling really good about this now. Let's see, delete some extra faces that we don't need. Just because I'm going to be beveling all this and it's just easier to get rid of now. Yeah, and right there. Just like that, you know. Some easy shapes done. Okay, nothing much I'm getting from here. Okay, yep, I'm just gonna keep adding shapes. That's definitely gonna do the trick. Yeah, sometimes you just gotta manually do it like this. Just, you know, let it be. Also, yeah, right here, if I align that to there, and then I zoom in, yeah, get that as close as I can, you'll see that the red X line is kind of a ruler, I guess. It'll get us a little closer to perfection, because I'm weird and obsessed with it. Oh, wow, I like that. Okay, oh, this right here. I'm seeing a problem already. There, needs to be thinner. Oh, wait, yeah, wait, hold on. It should be thinner than that. And I'm keeping up that continuity of beveling everything. I'm always going to bevel things to some extent, but this, it's like, there's kind of bevel that is for realism and touch-up and, you know, kind of polish, and it's a very light bevel, and it's very small and very kind of inconsequential. And then there's this, which is, this is kind of, I'm hoping, kind of sells as a part of the form. You know, it's meant to feel round and sort of like this shape, like this shaping. Let's see. I delete the unneeded faces. Wait, did I delete? Yeah, I deleted both. Okay, cool. Yeah, and then I'm just gonna honestly merge these shapes because I just like them as is, and I'm gonna mirror them to the other side. And now, because I spent more time early on that phase, you notice I'm slowly going in and adding more than I am fixing, and that's kind of where you get with it. This is kind of what you're going for, is you want to get past that phase of dealing with, you know, fixing things and making the form better. You kind of want to be at a place where you're just messing around with little areas, adding details, and adding more shapes, making it more advanced, you know? So, okay, already right here. Yeah, that's looking nice. EY. Alright, so here's an interesting thing. Now we're having a problem. Now I'm seeing that is there. In this case, just scale down. But that problem can get pretty extensive with interiors and shapes of that sort. Yeah, that looks nice. I'm really liking that. And I basically have to do the same thing here. I forgot. Make it a little different. Yeah, I'm bailing. You see this? I'm going to show you something. I'm bailing. You know why? Because I know that this is going to happen, and it makes me angry that it's got to cross like that. It doesn't just clamp. Let me see. Does it clamp? Edge rail? No. Offset even boundary. There's no offset, which doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Alright, there's a better way to do this then. Alright, so this thickness is, that's actually so close. See how these lines are kind of close to these lines? That's perfect. I'm just gonna inset this a little differently than I inset it the other one, which is with loop cuts, because I added these shapes up here, and, you know, it's adding some little complexity. That can be actually the super challenging part to building off of referred like content. So if you're working off concept art and you're supposed to get close to it, or even a hardline concept, those little moments can really, really throw you around, you know, because you want to just do something, but it's going to screw up work you did elsewhere. So, again, working non-destructively, knowing ways of solving those problems, it's going to change everything for you. I kind of want to get, you know, I said no round shapes, but in this case, I think it needs something to break it up. If it's all square, it's just not going to look good. So I'm going to add something here. I think it's going to do a lot. And it's going to be my first round shapes in this whole build, which is cool. I'm excited about that. Right, just creating a space in between right there. Okay, I'm actually going to drop this to 16. That's so I can up the resolution later. This one I actually want to use subdivision on. And then I'm going to do this. Yeah, so now I can just, after it's beveled, I can just subdivide it. And it should subdivide nicely besides these. And I can just inset these, and boom, it's done. And when I shade smooth, oh, they're like nice Donkey Kong barrels, which is perfect. That's what I'm going for. Do this. Bring that up where it's just touching. That up where it's just touching. And then scale them up a little bit. So they're doing that. Up against the walls. Yeah, that's nice. Okay, so now this is kind of serving the purpose of like cargo, where it's holding some kind of tank, which is nice. We could possibly also add some like pipes or something that kind of like links all this. Not really sure yet. Let's see. This shape, I want to break this up. So I'm going to bring that to like there. Let's join it on both sides, and once again just create its own shape out of that. So now we have two separated shapes. Just got to seal up the edges to make it rounded off at the edge so that we can tell. And then yeah, liking this. Okay, now this is kind of broken up into pieces. I can actually just really start like kind of going in, like maybe adding those very small like Intuit details. I don't know, like what am I feeling next? This is where it can get tricky for you, you know. It's like this is where you got to make some decisions. I'm saying a bunch of Bob Ross type stuff today. This is where you got to make some decisions. Oh yeah, this is your spaceship. This is gonna be this is your happy little spaceship for you. That makes you happy. Either way, let's see. Oh yeah, that's nice. Kind of add some firmness to the form. We need that. We need firmness to the form. Say that 3 times fast. All right. You guys loving these screencast keys? Oh my, what a luxury for both of us. Now I don't have to describe things as much. Not that I don't like describing things. I like it, but you know, don't you prefer when this thing down here does it? I do. Yeah, so this has like a really solid form now. Yeah, these back engines might have to get broken up a little bit. Might do the same thing that I did for the other one first. Alright, slide that down to 1. What just happened? Oh, because I'm coming near. Let me do thinner on this one anyway. You know, I'm going to let the limitations be the limitations. Kind of just rock with it. But let it go back further. Again, this, boom. Solidify. Only rim. And then seal this shut. Forgot to switch the cursor there. Yeah, make sure it solidifies above bevel if you're doing this trick. It will act funny if you don't do that. Let's see. I might also separate this whole back. Because it's flat, I can actually just go and take this set of edges and make sure that it's to there. Oh, you know what? No. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna set the cursor to there. I don't want it going right up to that edge. I want a little bit of floor right there for the connecting pieces. Again, just breaking pieces off. A lot of, I feel like the spaceship's just gonna be that. We're gonna see how it turns out because again, I'm not even going off of reference right now, so I'm running solo here. I'm flying solo, you know. No assistance. Oh, okay. This is looking good. I'm liking this. Oh no. You can see the issue I've come across. Oof. I love that. I love that for me. Okay, so I can scale right there. So that, because if I did that face, it would, you know, merge through. That would be no good. But that works. That works fine. That works great. And then also this piece is nice because now I don't have to worry about the loop cuts and such. Again, switching back to medium point. Okay. It's very 80s. I like that. I like that. I don't know how that didn't turn out straight, but okay. Oh, this is so much fun to have to select. Okay, there we go. Yeah, why am I complaining? It's a beautiful day, and I'm inside on the computer. I chose this though. You know. I can't be that guy. I'm always like, oh, woe is me. It's like, hey, well, I'm the one that's not going outside today. You know, I went outside today, but you know, wanted more time outside. But work is work. We must do. Okay, I don't know what to do here. Oh yeah. Let me do this. Maybe if I select both, it'll be easier on me. Yeah, it doesn't have to be exact, but I just need something here. Yeah, there we go. I was worried for a second when the bevel went away. There we go. Looking good. And then this one's easy because look, it has solidify on it. Oh yeah. Right there I can just cut that hole. Super easy. Because I'm going to add like some vent thing. I always kind of do that on my spaceships. I like it. It's a nice detail. Some people are like, it's space though. Why would they need vents? And I'm like, I don't know. It just looks cool. You don't give Star Wars stuff for that, you know? Giving me that flag? I mean, come on. Maybe it flies in atmosphere. Who knows? Who knows why it needs a vent? Maybe it just... I don't know. Figure it out. It's fun. Yeah, why does the Millennium Falcon have gravity? That, like, come on. We all know. Let me see. Yeah, I might thin out some of these bevels for some of the tighter details. Yeah, that looks nice. Okay. We do half the thickness of the bevel. And then these, I might do this. I might actually give them more bevel. And then just for now, do that automatically. Yeah, so now the shapes are kind of nice and round. That looks nice. Let's see, what else? What other shapes? Oh, I could also thin that one out. Yeah, that's starting to look nice. Let me view it without the random. Okay, that's really, I'm liking that. It's different. It's different than other stuff I've made. It's kind of more boxy. I do like that. Let me see. I think I should kind of stop and like start thinking just materials now, because any more details and I'd probably want to do them in a different way, or this might be a time to start adding like greebles, like basically like small pieces, small parts that can actually like distinguish the form. Let's see, can I add like that roundness to any other shapes? Okay, so let me do the vents and then I'm going to start doing all the small details. And then, yeah, see how fast we went through that second part in comparison with how it would have been trying to like figure that out with like a bad form. So, you know, it goes a long way. It really, really does. Yeah, I'm going to duplicate this and this will become my vent. So... you might be like, how is this going to become your vent? You're about to see. Let's see. So that's 8. And then I can just put that down here. Copy it with 8. And then kind of match this in terms of distance. Oh, didn't want to do that. Let me see. Yeah, 7 on this one. I know that seems weird right now, but you'll see what I'm kind of doing in a second. And then I can Control I to invert, delete all the edges, do that. And then I can just, this is going to be, again, manual, but I don't really care. Sometimes you want to do something, you could probably do it a faster way, but just brute force it, you know? If you could look up a guide on how to do this the right way, and it would, what's the use? How long would you spend? I mean, unless it's something you got to do so many times. I mean, you got to gauge it, you know what I mean? If I was like, uh-oh, I just made manual work that's going to take me 2 hours, I'd be like, okay, not going to work for this video, so, you know, got to figure something else out. But in this case, I'm doing manual. That's actually something that took me a long time to figure out. Was like when to like just do something and just deal with it and not try to like make it perfect. Oh my, wow. Okay, let's do this. What happened here? I know what happened, but if I hit face orientation, you can see some are red on this side, some are red on that side. Not good. I'm gonna pick the side that has less red. I'm gonna do that. Go to mesh, normals, and flip. You're on the wrong side of the normals, and now you'll see it all solidifies on the same side correctly. And then I'm going to take these faces, do normal, individual, SX, and then let that scale down a little bit. Maybe SC, maybe Nope, that's not gonna work. That's why. Nope, not gonna work. That's okay. Oh yeah, it's solidified. And then do that, and then bring the bevel to the bottom of the stack. Delete that face, because I'm just not liking it. Okay, I'm not liking that at all. Ooh. You know what I could do, and it looks so cool. That's how I gauge things. Is that cool? No, but that is actually a good way to go, you know. I think I heard somewhere that fighter jet designers do a very similar thing, that if something doesn't look cool, it's not going to fly well, and I find that really interesting, if I'm correct. Pretty sure I heard that, but if I didn't, you know, anybody who makes fighter jets in the comments, go ahead, tell me that I'm wrong, please. I might be. Either way, let's see. But I do subscribe to that idea, though, anyway. I mean, you know, if something doesn't feel cool, it's like, what are you doing? You know, why even bother, you know? The point of this is to have it be what you want, you know? It's not, there's really no other function to this other than just, you know, making it look cool. That's a very good thing, you know? Cool is the best thing you could hope for. Oh, I'm doing this all wrong. I'm gonna show you what I'm doing. Look how terrible that looks. And now it's perfect. Alright, there we go. Yeah, this might look way, way better. Something simpler, something, you know, not as crazy, but still really cool. Yep, add those segments again. Yeah, just keeping that idea going. Loving that. I'm loving stuff like that. Same thing with this. I might just like keep this idea going, where I'm doing something that's like, there's roundness in the subdivided shapes. Yeah, might be time to just do that, just overall. Yeah, that's making everything look really, really nice. Oh, I'm also going to turn off face orientation. I just hate how it bleeds red. Yeah, before I do that to every shape, you know what? Leave that maintained how it is. And it might be time to take it to the next layer. Also save your stuff. I pre-saved this. I already titled it Tanker Ship, but you know, you can do whatever. You can kind of change it up if you really desire. Okay, so getting into this final details. Let's see. I'm gonna take this right here. I'm gonna start with the thrusters, just because that's easy and I don't have to worry too much once it's done. Because I keep forgetting it. I like looked back here and I was like, oh wait. I never added thrusters. It would just be an empty open back, and I don't really like that personally. I mean, I could just do one big glow, but it's just not what I'm feeling for this personally. So let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna bring this back further. I'm gonna show you why. Because I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna array it downward. Oh. Is this the way? Yeah, that's the way. Okay. And then I'm gonna take it this way. Nope, not that way. I guess it's obviously C. Okay. And then I can do that. And then what I'm gonna do is apply that really fast. Take this bottom one and scale it down a little bit. Again, having to bring this back. Yeah, letting that maybe be maybe some like kind of exhaust. Maybe it'll be too much, but we'll see. If I take this, S shift Y. Yeah. maybe move it to each side like that. Does that look nice? Okay, let's see. What was that noise I made? Oh my. Okay, either way. Yeah, right there. Oof, I don't like that. Okay. See, you play around, you mess around, you find out. Yeah, you mess around and find out. You know what the real saying is, but, you know, we don't need to say it here. Let's see. I want to go back. Go back. Go back. Boom. Just gonna do it manually. Did it with an array last time, but this time manually. Again, starting to get less important that we're exact now, because these aren't the overall forms. We're not like deriving a lot of things from these. You know, these are the details we add on later. I'm going to switch to individual origins, just because what I'm about to do is going to... I like to do these simple thrusters. They tend to work pretty well. Then I can add a glow in there, and then it's good to go. And then what I'm going to do is add a bevel. And I'm going to up that. I'm going to shade that smooth, and I'm going to scale it back, or you know what, make it 1, and then add a subdivision. There we go. Okay, that's starting to look nice. Again, doing that with the faces. Yeah, that looks really nice. Okay, and you can see these are like more polished shapes. These are less. Again, we're gonna do actually a save where we take off all these modifiers, and we're gonna make it low poly, so I can kind of show you. Why am I doing it that way? I'm going to show you kind of the low poly way of doing it. If you really want, I guess. It's all up to you. Not really, actually. I have nobody to talk to here. It's up to me. But, you know, it is up to you what you end up doing. You know what? I will do a high poly one, actually, because it will be easier. But, yeah, we're basically able to take off all these bevels off another object and print the textures of all the details from this one onto that. So that can be really helpful. I'm also going to do another trick that I am going to have to look up, because I'm going to break my own rule here, because it's just going to be too hard to figure out on my own. It would be a waste of time, and it's a technique I learned, and then I can relay it to you, and I'm not going to give you wrong information. Oh yeah, that's nice. I know my reactions are weird. Oh yeah, but yeah, for real, it's nice, you know. It's this is the fun part. This is what I'm saying. This part becomes so much fun when you do the other steps. If you take your time on the earlier steps, it's like then you can actually enjoy this part. And, you know, I used to hate this part. Once you got to the details, it was like it all just started to fall apart on you, and you're just like, what am I even doing? Set out to make something awesome, and then you're just not proud. It's like, it's the worst feeling. It's honestly, it's what they don't talk about with the beginners thing. I think some people do, and then they're just really harsh about it, and then they're like, well, you gotta suck, and then it's like, yeah, I think I've even given that advice, but I understand that it's something where it's like, oh, see, we forgot something here. But it's something where you just gotta keep playing with it, and it's okay. It's okay that it looks bad. It should look bad. Think about it. Today is the worst piece you're gonna make from now on. That's not a bad thing. That's actually kind of what you're hoping for, isn't it? Today should be your worst piece going from here on out. It's probably not gonna be, but it should be. You know, that's the ideal we want to live with, at least. Try to like hold on to that. Like, okay, I'm gonna get better tomorrow. You know. And just let it be. It's, you know, and learn the stuff, you know, learn different techniques and let it become good over time. It's so much more special. It's such a feeling once when you get there. I'll tell you what, it's like, it's really fun to like, I wouldn't appreciate it if this was easy. You know what I mean? If it was so easy that I didn't even struggle, what would be left, you know, what would be left to like really take away from this? And it's amazing that I get to see myself improve, and it gives me the motivation to keep going. That's just how that is. It's like you start to derive the enjoyment of doing this from the fact that you're going to get better, and that you can. The further you get, the more you're going to see your upward trajectory. Are you ever going to be perfect at it? No, that's the whole point. In fact, even if you were somehow perfect, things are going to change, and then you have to change too, and that's awesome. That you take pride in that. You are a ever changing person. You know, the skills will always grow. There's no complacency with this. And I think that's what a lot of people are seeking. You know, out of life. You know, you don't want to get complacent. That's the worst. You know, just let it keep being better. Yeah, and let today be the worst piece you ever make. Cheers to that, huh? You know? Alright, let's see. Yeah, again, I'm going so Bob Ross this time. I don't know what is going on. I'm not even making an environment. I should save that for the environment stuff, but, you know, here we are. Yeah, I am trying to learn characters. I feel now that I'm starting to get to a point where I'm like, okay, how many environments can I create that just don't have anybody? And how many times can I just use asset libraries for characters? And I'm starting to get the bug. I'm starting to think like, okay, I might actually want to do characters, which is a weird feeling for me because I'm like, you know, it's just never been my whole forte. I've never been good at it. I feel like I try to learn human figure and stuff like that, and it just wasn't my natural thing. I think we have a tendency to lean into what's natural as artists. But I'm starting to feel at a point where I'm like actually kind of excited at the idea of practicing sculpting. And guess what? Sucking at it for a while. Because that's what it's going to be. It's like I'm not gonna be making work like the best character artist. And that can also be really hard because, you know, I feel like I've gotten to a certain point as a 3D artist. I've definitely been doing it for a decent amount of time now, and that, you know, that's very rewarding for all the skills I have obtained, but for the skills that I don't have, it's so much harder to go back and sort of start fresh, I guess you could say. You know what I mean? It's not so easy to basically feel like you're starting over, you know? And that's just part of the game, you know? It's like you could know everything about one subject, but to know everything about it does not give you the ability to understand all of them, you know, all subjects in this, because this 3D modeling isn't just like some skill, it's a lot of cumulative skills that add up to a place, you know? So you kind of have to keep that in mind. Like even when you get down pat one whole technique, you know, it might not be enough, and that's okay. Like for you, you know, it's all up to you. I mean, you could be, if you're just into environments or you're just into characters, and do just that and get really good at it. But if you do have the desire, know that you're gonna have to step down a peg to get back up on another one. You know, you gotta start the ladder over in a way. Let me see. Okay, I'm starting to like that. I guess. Okay. This happens every time. I'm like, I'm starting to like that. I'm like, no, I'm not. Why am I saying that? I'm just gonna play around with this. I know this doesn't look good now, but I'm thinking in a different term, because I'm actually gonna make it where it seals up against these edges a little better. It's not gonna look like tubes. But, no. Oh, that's horrible. Oh. God, I'm so hard on it. I'm so mean. Like, who is this guy, you know? What's he talking about? There might be no easier way than just to do it this way. Oh God, what am I doing? We should line these all up to be perfect with it. Like near perfect. Yes, okay, there we go. Now I'm gonna go to individual origins, Yeah, I kinda like that just cause it's like so like old cockpit kind of vibe. I don't know though. It's so hard to decide these things. Alright, there we go. I think I'm just gonna do it like this. That might create, oh yes, that is what I'm looking for. Like I can tell right off the bat that I'm in a better spot. Yeah, and it also aids to it being a smaller cockpit. Okay, cool. I'm gonna reset that. I know I just I literally just did that. But reason is because I want a loop cut going this way. And now it's gonna look, oh, now I'm getting excited. Now I'm feeling it. Again, this is a big part of it, is also splitting up your shapes, breaking them down into smaller forms. Like, I'm just dealing with the cockpit now. Like, that's you know, that's helpful. It's not as terrifying when you break it down. You know, it's like, okay, I can take on just this shape, and I know techniques to take on just this shape, and I don't have to figure out a way that it marries with this topology, because these things do not want to go together. You know what I mean? Look at that. Like, that would be a nightmare to retopologize, and there's ways around it that are ultimately better, you know? And then all I have to do is duplicate this. I should have, you're gonna see what I did wrong. It doesn't really matter though, because I also want to show, like, if you were way later down the line and you couldn't just undo it, this is going to become a problem, and you're going to be like, oh, I wanted that whole shape that I made, that very simple shape that I can do stuff with. I can make it into the window pane, for example, like right here. And sometimes you have to undo modifiers. You know, you might inset, or not modifiers, but undo editing that you've done to an object, and you got to manually do it, and it's a pain, and that happens, and that's okay, you know? And actually, the more you come across these problems, the better you'll get at solving them, which is very helpful. And then you feel really smart on those Blender forums where people are asking questions, and you can be like, well, actually, if you're having that problem, you can fix it like this. It makes you feel very, very cool. Yeah, as you can see, I kind of really have to go back on my work here. Turn that off. Let's see. Yeah. Another thing I've been trying to learn recently, going on a little tangent here, is plasticity, which is kind of like a CAD software. Also want to bring that so I can make stuff like this a little bit more advanced as well. Oh, whoa, look at that. See? This is a cool opportunity to show you this. The offset of solidify. Pretty cool. Let's see. Okay, obviously something is, one of these things are not like the other type of deal. Pull that in just so it kind of roundabouts with it a little bit better. Like, that angle should be maintained. Yeah, that looks nice. I'm liking that. Alright, let me see. Needs a little something up here. Again, I'm just going to be going around, messing with these details, trying to make everything perfect when I know I can't. That's okay. Let's see. Yeah, and again, not working off of reference, honestly. This I feel pretty good about this for not working off of that. Usually, like, you know, there's such a dependence on it, and, you know, I mean, I would be making better art right now. I know that. But it's also nice to know that I can create something. And again, tying into that spider mandible thing, that I'm seeing this come to life right here. Really aiding to that kind of spider look that I was going for. Let me apply that. I just want to make this one shape real quick. Just be easier this way. Yeah. You know, getting rid of those back faces. You know, I think this is a point to also probably take this whole collection, duplicate it, and then hide this old one. There we go. And also see I did .00, .001 because then it numbers them automatically for me, so I can just keep going. Again, I told you, tried to save as much as I could. Also because it makes for really cool, what's it called? Really good breakdowns. I can go and like show more steps of what I did. Oh, I'm loving that. Okay. Yeah, sometimes you really have a happy accident. You're like, oh, I just found a shape I love. And that is the best feeling. That is the best. Because that just, oh, now it looks so spider-like. I love it. Okay, that's great. Yeah, I know this isn't like the most detailed thing ever. And, you know, I could go all out and just really let it be something. But today I'm just feeling like, you know, honestly, and now I'm actually making a higher poly cylinder, just because I know I don't want to do like a subdivision thing with it. There we go. It's having a little trouble there. Just because I know that I just want to take these edges and just bevel them, and not put the whole subdivision on them, and let it be a whole thing. I know what shape I want, you know? Sometimes I do lower poly just because I wanted those options, but kind of ended up settling at a place, you know. Yeah, this is a weird thing that's been happening. It just has been, in the newest version of Blender, just adding sharpness where I don't want. If you have the light blue lines, just hit your spacebar, load up your search, and hit clear sharp. And then shade smooth. What the heck? Oh, wow. I didn't know why that happened, but, you know, it did. So there we go. See? Problem solving. It's good. You gotta have the problems to learn how to fix them. Message was brought to you by Sean. Or I should say Skill on Noodle. I don't know. It might be the first time I ever said my actual name on this channel, huh? Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's almost like a spider holding its eggs. Ew. Okay, let's see. Let's start actually putting a good bevel on all these. 2, 3, shade smooth. 2, 3, shade smooth. I think 3 will be good. 2, 3, shade smooth. Yeah. Oh yeah, let me do I'll put that all in here. For now, anything that's finished that I'm happy with. And then I can move them back after. Let's see. Yeah, that looks good. Need a little bevel on this. Yeah, like bevel has to be maintained at this point. Like it's just too important for the whole thing. Sometimes you'll have shapes like that where you're just like, okay, like this absolutely needs to be, you know, like everything is beveled and I'm not getting away with it without that. And that's okay, that's good. It's honestly a good thing. It means you're going in, you're detailing stuff a lot. Everything should have the same continuity of detail, you know, within a single model, I guess. Yeah, shade and smooth by angle doesn't always work with bevel, but I feel like this time totally is. That has this really nice look to it. Yeah, this is probably going to look a lot better now with this. Yeah, these super thin bevels, we only need 2. Yeah, I'll do that one 3. Yeah, you know what? I should be doing 3 every time. Look how I'm changing my mind all throughout. You know, just not giving a care. But yeah, no, again, you do the early phases well and you take your time. These later phases always go faster. And I know this is not even the best work I feel like I can make, but I will say for the amount of time, I feel pretty good about this, you know? Like it's not too bad. Like, I'll take it, you know? But it's because of just, you know, years of doing that, like just going over things, doing them over and over, and just letting stuff like grow. Like, you know, I've made a few spaceship like tutorials, and you can really see like where sometimes when I was rushing, because again, you have not made your worst piece today, but that's your best effort, you know. But you know, you go back and you can see different progress points for me. I mean, like where I straight up didn't know how to do certain things in Blender beforehand. And you know, I'm gonna add. I can't even see the rest of the model. Oh, yeah, I can. But I'm gonna do this. Oh, it's over here. It's like, where is it? Where are my edit control points? I just know this is gonna look good though. Nope. Wait, let me do this. Line that perfectly with that right there. And that I do like. A little weird, but I like it. I'm gonna stick with it. I'm gonna rock with it. Let me see. Okay, what's left? Is that it? That one's done. Yeah, I can move that all back to Model O too. I just like to do that sometimes, create like another folder and like check my progress as I work. But yeah, I'm liking that. Okay. That's looking pretty good, honestly. Again, not the best work, but I feel like for kind of being on a sort of time limit, like we're a little over, we're right at 2 hours basically. Took a little break in the middle. That's pretty good for the amount of time that I was going for. Let's see. Anything else? What do I need to do now? Okay. I think I have a good idea of where I can go. So I'm going to save this. Model 002. I'm going to duplicate the collection. And now I'm going to take this. And this is super easy. Oh my god, I hate that. Oh, I'm seeing. It adds actual sharp lines now. I actually like that. Let me bevel that a little bit. Yeah, it's nice. Ooh, one more thing. You know, like that's the thing. We're gonna keep going. We're just gonna keep this going all night long. Just let it happen. Just let it all happen. You know, like all the crazy stuff you thought wasn't possible. We're gonna make it happen. You know, they're like that topology impossible, and I say nay. Let it be what it's gonna be. Ugh, it's rough. I might just take that shape out and put something new. Ooh, you know what? Yeah, and this actually isn't my first time doing this super boxy shape. There is something else I am currently working on that is going to involve this, a much bigger project. Have not really announced it yet, and don't count this as an announcement. This is just kind of pointing out that there is some, because if anybody watches my channel regularly, I don't know if I really have regular watchers yet. I don't know where I'm at. I feel like channel's growing good, but I don't know if anybody's watching regularly or keeping up. But I've been off for a while. I haven't really been on nearly as much as I used to, and the reason is not because I'm losing interest, which I'm not, because I love this stuff. I'm so lucky that I get to do this stuff. You know, it's like so great to get to share this with people, and you guys actually seem to really vibe with the content. I'm very happy about that. But no, the real reason I'm taking a break is because of a bigger project coming on along. I don't know why I stuttered so much on that. It's like I'm delivering bad news. No, this is really good. Really good news. Really excited. I've been working on this since New Year's Day. So I don't even think I've uploaded it in that whole time. I might have uploaded like one video. And now I got this little series of videos because I needed to actually stop for a second because it was actually quite a lot. I've really been working on this project for quite a while. But I want to bring something to you guys that's really special. Bring something that's really cool and different. And so I've been working on something, and I'm very excited to have stuff to show. Might be for a little while that's not going to be the case, but you know, give it a little time. You know, stay tuned, and you know, some cool things are on the way, and I think you guys will really like it. A whole lot of cool things. And let's see. Alright, I'm just finishing up here some of the stuff. Alright, I like that. It needs a middle strip. Yeah, there we go. Alright, let's see. Okay, yeah. That looks nice. Gotta love New York. You hear that out there? It's wild. I get it though. Gotta honk out here if you want to get to where you're going at all. So the truth. Let's see. Boom. There we go. Is that good flat? Let's see. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah. Hopefully you guys aren't hearing that noise though. I have a feeling you aren't. And you know, it's doing some of the talking for me because my throat is getting dry. I don't do a lot of videos like this, and I'll tell you what, it can get pretty tricky. Alright, what happened here? Oh, okay. No biggie. There we go. And you know what? I'm gonna get more uses out of these objects. No, I'm not. Yeah, that definitely happens a lot. You're just like, I'm gonna get more out of this object, and you're like, never mind. Let's see. Move that to here. I don't know why this is still two objects. Oh, there we go. All right. Yeah, okay, I actually have a plan now on how I'm going to texture this even better. Get more out of it. Oh, this one's easy. Look at that. Right there. And then again, this one. Easy enough. Wait, let me do this, actually. Yeah, that works. Check your face orientation when you extrude. Yep, see? Sometimes it does that. You don't want that. Just when you extrude stuff, that can happen, so something to look out for. Yeah, it's nice. Let me also do this. I'm gonna keep separating shapes. It's what I do now, like for a living. I mean, yeah. Actually, yeah, I guess so. But technically, then that is what 3D modelers do. There's more to it, I think. Let's see. This also go to here. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, and I'm actually going to try something today where I'm going to use trim sheets all over this, which are basically just like sheets covered in, like image sheets covered in details, and then you can place the faces over them on the UV map and then basically bake them in as normals. And then when you bring in the substance, it'll already know to like put stuff in the crevices and all that. If all goes well, I don't know yet. Could even use them as extrusion maps or do little things with the detailing. So we're gonna try something. We might try some stuff today. I don't know. We're gonna see, and it will be cut out anyway if it doesn't go well. So you know, yeah. Or I say today, but actually looking at the time, I need to wrap up. Yeah. So I'm gonna continue this. Yeah, and it might just be a cut because I might cut the whole video to be shorter. So yeah, I'll see you in a second. Okay, so we're back and it's day 2. Haven't done anything to this since, but just looking to finish it out, see what kind of details I can add to kind of make this happen. Yeah, it's weird. I'm just looking around for any kind of details I can add. Maybe something back here. Again, this is the time to kind of create greebles, kind of those small pieces that you see typically on model ships. Greebles are that's actually a term from ILM, from when they were making the original Star Wars. There was a piece in a tank kit called a greeble, and they just liked the name, so they actually kept it. I just found that pretty interesting. So it's kind of a made-up word in a weird way. It's kind of what they would just call it, but now it sort of means any small like extra detail pieces, I suppose you could say. Let me see. Let me apply that solidify, or let me actually put that, yeah, let me apply that, and then I can erase these back faces, which will, okay, yeah, cool, yeah, just some pieces there, something to give it some, you know, texture. Yeah, that's most of what this phase is about, is just actually going and adding little details. So as you can see, I duplicated a piece. I'm going to do that pretty frequently. That's kind of an easy way to add a shape quick. So yeah, I can just select this piece, delete everything else, bring that down. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it here, add a bevel, like a loop cut and a bevel, and then bring that down. And yep, okay. And then we just need a solidify, and we'll just thicken that out. Oh, it has to go the other way. It's kind of weird. You can either go negative on this or you can change the offset. I do either. It just depends which is easier at the moment. And then right above that bevel. Alright, cool. That's a nice piece. Let me see. You know what I'm actually going to do? Set origin geometry and move it up to here like that, right along that line. So it kind of looks like it's acting as like a structure or a support piece. Let's see what else. Right here, I'm going to add a cube. I'm going to scale that along the Z. extend that out. Okay. And again, keeping up with that bevel thing. I've been doing it, so I should keep doing it. It's kind of a good, way to remain with it. And then I need to mirror it, naturally. Alright, cool. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. Maybe it's extruded a little too far out. And then I can also take this piece, duplicate it, and then I can maybe add a bevel, cut a piece down there, cut a piece right there. And then, yeah, again, just duplicating a shape and then cutting sections off of it can do a lot to like improve the piece. Like right there, really fast. I got a nice piece going. Let's see what else. Oh, I could maybe add some loop cuts right here. Bevel them, add another loop cut, and then I could take these and extrude them inward. That looks weird. No, I'm not liking that. I'll undo that real quick. Let's see. Oh, you know what might actually look kind of good? I was thinking I could bevel this again and then just add a couple to it so it actually becomes round. I'll need a couple more than that. Yeah, that might actually look kind of nice. Just add enough until it looks smooth. Alright, no. Yeah, sometimes it's a hit or a miss. You're making shapes and you're like, oh, does this work? Sometimes it's not going to, and that's okay. It's just a part of the process. Bring this in a little bit. What is this missing? You know what? I think I know. I think I know what it's missing. Bring it out along the bottom. Have to re-add that face back. And then bring that backwards. Bring it to like there. Yeah, that's nice. Okay. Oh, and this also isn't mirrored. Make sure that you're mirroring stuff, unless, of course, you don't want it mirrored, but for most of the time with spaceships, I like to go pretty symmetrical. Okay, let's see. Does this need... Actually, yeah, I can. Okay. Add a piece there, piece there, piece there, and a piece there. And then I'm just going to add a subdivision so that it's nice and smooth. Yeah, but again, I'm not loving that, but I mean, that's okay, I can always come back, change that how I need it to be later. It's hard to say. You know what? Might take it away and see what I can add right now that'll kind of alter this a bit. Maybe another one of these. Bring it up a little bit. Yeah, okay. And what I can do is take this, rotate it 180. Gotta bring it back to where it was. Bring it up. So it kind of has like a symmetry with the other thing. Okay, yeah, I like that. Okay, yeah. I can keep adding details, but again, I do want to make this actually go a little bit faster, just because, I don't want to take up too much of your time, and I also, I got places to be, I guess. No, I'm just, I don't know, I just feel like I should probably show a more simple version, not get too obsessed with the details, just because I feel like I'm going to give you guys more to get out of this. If it's just overall showing the process and showing that you don't necessarily have to go super far to get results, that's always kind of a good thing to know. It's like, you know, you might be doing too much, you know? You might not need to work as hard as you're thinking, you know? I know that most of the time, it's weird. You would think becoming a better artist is pushing so hard and being so good at what you do, and it's just, I mean, yeah, of course it is, and attention to detail and trying and effort and all these things are important, but in truth, it's only gotten easier with time, for me at least, and that's kind of why I love it, is because it's kind of like you're taking a test, and the goal of this test is to try to figure out how to cheat it the best. You know, I know that seems weird, but it kind of, you know, that's just basically how it works. It's, if you can get to a result faster than other people, then guess what? You got the job. Like, that's just how this works, you know? It's one of those things. So definitely something to think about, you know? If you can cheat your way to a result, do it. You know, I think a big problem with my work is that a lot of the time I obsess over kind of doing things the right way or the perfect way or having this really good lockdown workflow. And this is definitely something I'm working on, and I've definitely improved a lot, but it would honestly stump me because I see other artists who can kind of do work the messy way. They kind of let Blender break a little bit, but as long as it gets them the result, they'll do it. I mean, Ian Huberts is a prime example of an amazing artist who knows how to break those rules really well and do things where you're like, that works? How does that work? Like, not caring about topology, knowing that once you have the final result, you have the final result. You don't need to have this explained working method of how you got there. It just needs to work. And that's kind of the best thing. That's the best kind of thing to do when you're doing this type of thing. Let's see, this little patch back here is looking kind of bare. I know a few things we can do. We can bevel this right here. Gotta set that back down to 1. Are my screen keys still on? Oh, look at that. They don't stay on. Good to know. I think I can just n-gon it. And when it's not 4 or it's not a try, that becomes an n-gon. So I think of it as like numbers of gons. You know, like you have a, you know, polygons are essentially your shapes, and then you have a pentagon and a hexagon. Well, a way to refer to anything that's beyond 4 or 3 is just an n-gon. That's what we often call it. And you know, you're told a lot that's like a big no-no in 3D, that you're not supposed to, or at least in Blender, that you're not supposed to really play with n-gons, and that's just not true. There are examples of when you shouldn't, and it's good to know when not to. But remember, it's not a hard fast rule, and it really isn't, you know, going to absolutely break Blender. Again, they wouldn't offer it if it wasn't something you can do. Let's see. Okay, yeah. Oh, forgot that face. Yeah, I was like, that looks weird along that edge. Yeah, keeping an eye out for stuff like that. Yeah, I'm really liking how this is looking. I wasn't loving it at first. I was like, okay, I just got to get a video out there. Gotta make something cool, kind of show the workflow. And, you know, sometimes you're just not feeling it with how you're creating something, but you got to push on. But, you know, then there's, you know, this kind of stuff. Sometimes it just settles into its spot really well. And you're like, okay, yeah, this is actually working much better than I thought it was going to. And that's always nice, you know? That's what you hope for. Yeah, this is looking nice. Sometimes I like to just turn off everything, kind of just take a look at it under different materials. I was saying that earlier. Yeah, like this shows like normals, so we can kind of see the faces. It kind of reveals how much detail or how much detail there is or isn't in the scene, so that's useful. metallic. I never like looking at these too much. Sometimes they really distort what you're trying to look at and tell you, oh, there's something wrong when there really isn't. A little toony looks pretty good. Like a cartoon shader. Yeah. Looking like a Borderlands game or something. Ooh, that's nice. Yeah. It's always fun to kind of do this. And you can even still go down here and switch to the random colors and look at the different matte caps. A lot of cool stuff you can do with a Blender and kind of the viewport and kind of get a good feel for everything. Oh, yeah, see, some of them make it look like your thing is normal issues. Like, we're here like there's nothing wrong with the normals. Like, this is totally off. Yeah, but, always good to take a look, kind of see what's going on with your model, and make sure you're kind of on track. You're at the level you're happy with. You know what's funny? I actually really loved the mandible things, and that's... Why am I not centering? Oh. My brain just broke a little bit there. You ever try to reset something? You're like, there we go. Yeah, I'm not loving the mandible thing, but I think I'm at the point where I'm gonna commit. But I might try this, see if that helps. That does. Also, I might even try this. Kind of breaking the rule of my own piece here. Kind of going against what it was. Ooh, that doesn't look bad. But you know what? We're gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it. I'm liking it. Again, looking at the different pieces can do a lot. I could keep going and just keep on detailing, but part of me is feeling like it's not gonna do much good to just keep going for no reason. Should definitely consider, like, kind of making sure that I'm getting through each stage appropriately. And this is also something to gauge. I mean, sometimes you can actually make a project work where it's just by over-gauging it, It's just by overdoing it, overcooking. You had something great, you let go of it because you obsessed over it being better, I mean, art is not complete, it is abandoned, as they say, So, something to consider. Yeah, it looks nice. You know what? Let's see. Should I add very, very small details? Or should I just show how we can add materials? I feel like I definitely could add some, like, super small details now. Just kind of add little pieces that I kind of add all over. I'm thinking, so, like, maybe a little in slot in here, maybe a couple details here to indicate a door, maybe replace this and put some details in there, some details right here, and then little pieces that can kind of, like, cover some of the lines and stuff. Might look really cool. Yeah, I think I want to do that. So I'm just going to start by actually detailing all of the small stuff. Like all the, it said small stuff. This is all going to be the small details, but more so adding like these little areas where there's more detail. This kind of thing just does a lot. Oh, look at that. I didn't shape that right before I inset. You know what, this is going to be easier just to do this. Just take it away and then go like that. Making sure that it fits nice. Yeah, sometimes like letting seat into the crevices a little bit makes it feel more like it was built, which is always a good feeling to have. Nice. Yeah, I want to keep that nice and thin. I want to mark my point there. And then I'm just going to start adding like little shapes, essentially. Like, let me just go to just here so I can see that. You know, sometimes I just like to add literally just cubes, like nothing crazy, nothing absolutely like super hard to model. It can do a lot, you know, because it's little stuff you'll look at and then you interpret when you see the overall piece, especially more zoomed out, you just interpret it as more detail, and it really is just cubes. Because you'll see, let me do this. Add a little, let me scale that, then inset and bring down. I'm gonna bevel that. Maybe bring one little piece up like that. Does it need that much detailing? You know what? It benefits from it. So now I can just get rid of all the faces I don't need. And oh, if you hit Shift G, select similar. So you can hit Shift G. You can also look it up in the spacebar area. You can switch in your settings the spacebar to actually search. I prefer that rather than play. But if you hit Shift G, you see these all these different options. Play around with these. You can select by material. Use that one a lot. I use just a lot of these. They're very nice. Like, but coplanar, normal, material, and sometimes area seem to be the ones that I mess with the most. Haven't even messed with polygon sides and stuff. But it selects all the similar faces. So if I just select that one, all those faces that are even with it get selected. But yeah, just wanted to delete some of those faces so that I can do this. I can merge them with that, and now it's all one shape, which makes life easy. And then I can bevel again, scale it. I can reduce that bevel because these are like the finer details, up it to 2. Again, I'm adding a lot of that detailing with the beveling, because when I go into substance, I can take all that information and use it to bake in texture. So that's going to create better edge maps, better AO. The more topology you give Substance Painter to initially work with, the more clean the result is going to turn out, because not only is the resolution of your texture determined by your image size of the texture set in Substance, but you actually are pretty affected by, especially with like smart materials and smart masks and things like that, that use the actual mesh's shape to create like edge wear and dirt in the crevices and stuff. It actually uses the topology. So even if you need a low poly model, make a very high poly one that you're going to bake onto the low poly one. And we're going to kind of cover how to do that. But just keep that in mind. So that's something that's really important. Let's see. Alright, now I want to, we got a little piece there. But right here I wanted to add a little hatch. So what I'm actually going to do is take this, extrude it downward, shade smooth by angle for now, set that there, add a little cube, scale along the Y, scale along the X, bring it down until it's lower. And then, you know what, I can take this, extrude that up. Yeah, it looks nice. And again, just taking this, reducing it down, taking away any faces that we're not seeing. Also going to help with substance a little bit, not a ton, but it does do something. Yeah, see, I have one right there. I don't even want these faces. Don't want them. I can actually merge that with that so that I get the bevel everywhere. And then I can reduce that until it's nice. Up it to 3. Shade smooth. Yeah, okay, cool. You know what will actually really do a lot for this too? Is if I take that and just rotate it. Now it's a more unique shape. Boom. And now it's kind of like a more hatch-like thing. So it actually works towards the whole thing. So adding those little details, super important. I'm going to take away that there. I just don't want that repetition. I'm going to go like that. Again, I don't have to go all out with the details everywhere, but it does help to... you know what I'm actually going to do? I'm going to take a UV sphere, and then I love doing this. You can just select the whole loop around here. Again, that's Alt and click. Delete that, hit L, that'll select the whole shape. I've probably been doing that the whole time. L selects an entire like connected piece. So even if it's within edit mode and it's one object, you don't have to necessarily separate them like manually. You don't have to like, you know, select these one by one. You can just go L and it'll select the whole thing. Super useful for characters, by the way. I know I was saying I want to learn more about characters. That was a huge thing to learn in the little bits that I have learned about characters. Yeah, it kind of just looks like a dome. Does that look weird? That kind of looks weird. Not huge on that. Let me just mark my cursor there, and then maybe add some cubes. You know what? I'm gonna rotate this 90. Scale it in. Bring it up. Duplicate it. Again, removing any faces I don't need. This just makes life easier sometimes to do this before. It's just something you're not going to have to do later, basically. And, you know, I don't really know the purpose for you creating a spaceship like this or what you might be using this for, you know? Everybody has a use that they want. Some people might be trying to make a super hyper-realistic movie one. This strategy works pretty good, but I would say go a lot further. This, I guess, is more game model vibes. It's definitely not your, you know what? Actually, what's awesome, I'm gonna use these more. Let me do that, and then 90. I am gonna use these shapes a lot more. Gonna get the most out of them. Let's see. Close that up. Okay, cool. Yeah, that is nice. Yeah, it's all these little details add up to so much. They really do. It's like, you know, I wanted to kind of stop before this, but I'm like, you know what? If I take it to that next level, take it to that next level, and that's not a bad thing, you know. So, let's see. Yeah, I like that. See how much, just adding those little details, you can already see. I mean, but now we are expected to go and do that everywhere. Again, we maintain that level of detail wherever we go. And yeah, I'm going to do a high poly texturing of this. So I'm literally just going to take this object as is, bake all the details on, like bake all the modifiers, everything. Just apply them, basically. And move right into Substance. I've actually been doing that recently, and I've noticed that because I guess this could be for game dev. I sometimes just like making stuff just to make renders, you know, and especially for something like this, I don't know the application of this. Probably too high poly to be for a video game. I don't really know where video game engines are at now. I'm sure Unreal 5 with Nanite and everything could definitely do something with this, but you can make a low poly version, and there is a way to bake. Let me know if you want a tutorial specifically on baking, because I'd want to do a tutorial directly on that, because I screw it up pretty much every time, so I'd have to make a special model, really go at it, and create a step-by-step on like the right way to do that. I don't want to give you false information now, and honestly, for something like this, it's going to be easy enough to just bring this right into Substance Painter and just start having fun. So that's what I'm going to do. Let's see. I always look. You see, one of these things are not like the other. I know I've been saying that, but one of these things are not like the other. Look at the top and then look at the bottom. I do this all the time. I'm just I don't care. I don't care about the bottom. Who cares about the bottom? No, you should care about the bottom. Care about the bottom of your ship. It's very important. Um, let's see. Now I feel like this is the place to add like a dome or something. No, you know what? You know what? I'm gonna cheat a little bit. First of all, I'm gonna split this up into several shapes. I'm just feeling it. Just feeling that that's gonna be the most conducive to this. Like just start where I was. I always do this. It's always like I've already been like in the heavy detailing stage, and then I'm like, okay, yeah, let me go back and just like redo earlier steps for this part now, because I always forget the bottom. Like I'm always making these models, and I look at the bottom. I'm like, I didn't even do anything, and at that point, my energy is gone. I'm just like, I don't wanna do it. All right, no, but we can bust this out really fast. Wait, let me add a couple more and do that. This is what I want to do. Inset, invert. Yeah, I actually heard an interesting thing. I don't know if anybody else watches Test It. Really, really cool channel. It's Adam Savage from Mythbusters. But he also has done a ton of effects work in his life, and his channel is incredible. Very, very big channel. Rightfully so. Just amazing channel. I love it. It's like I literally binge watch it. I've probably given them so many views just because I watch when I sleep. I literally turn it on every night. I love Adam Savage's Test It. Amazing channel. He was talking with an old friend from ILM, and they had this discussion about the difference between Star Trek and Star Wars in terms of detailing objects. And, you know, those are two very large pillars of sci-fi, and I think they kind of represent the two different directions. One is sort of space fantasy, gritty, action-oriented, and the other one is deep, thoughtful sci-fi. I mean, you could think of it like Dune versus Warhammer, if you want to go really on the deeper side of sci-fi. I guess Dune and Warhammer aren't really deep sci-fi anymore, huh? Now that's just stuff that people like now. That's all. I love it. This is great. Live in a good era for that kind of stuff, you know? But they said that in, kind of a little tangent there, but they said for Star Wars and Star Trek, the difference always is that Star Trek has a lot of repeating details, and Star Wars never repeats more than 4 times. And I find that even repeating more than 3 times can be a problem. So that's a really great way to think about it, is that since this is kind of a more gritty starship, I wouldn't say this is something from like a perfect utopic world. This is definitely something more along the lines of, you know, something a little bit more grungy, I guess. And that's definitely what I want to get out of this. But you know, if I'm thinking in those terms, I don't want overly repeating details, because if they're repeating excessively, what's going to happen is it's going to start to look very perfect. And in fact, I really don't do a lot of work personally that is very clean and perfect. I would say it's like I like gritty. If I can get something to look gritty, I'm going to do it, because I just think it adds that level of texture that, you know, it just tells a story. It really makes, I think, the viewer connect. I might be wrong, but I don't know. I think a lot of artists use that though. It's you know, we're not architects, we're not engineers. We're not here to make something perfect. We're here to make something that feels good, you know, something that feels real, that feels lived in. And if that's the, you know, the goal, then I hope I'm reaching it, you know. That's what I'm heading for, kind of something that feels lived in and real and exciting. Let's see. Yeah, I think I can get rid of these faces. And I can. Okay. Yeah, that's starting to look good. Alright, now's the time where I'm gonna create these little greeble pieces that I was talking about doing for panel lines. So I'm gonna make one. I'm gonna do this. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna automatically mirror that. And what's nice is now I can go across the whole thing and add these little pieces. Making sure to apply my scale every now and then. See how the bevel gets stretched. Control A, scale. No more stretching. Yeah, so that's going to be huge. This is a very big part of doing this kind of thing, is making sure that we're consistently... Let me go here to solidify and even thickness. Yeah, okay, you see the difference? Without, without, with. Very much something that we need to do. And I need to check if I need to do that anywhere else. But yeah, I'm just going to go across the whole thing, kind of just making sure I'm getting the most out of the shapes that I'm creating. Yeah, that just makes everything feel more connected. I don't want to overdo that, but it is something cool. I might even take this little piece, use this again. RX 90 and then RY 90. I'm gonna bring it down here, or you know what, RY 90, and then bring that forward and bring it back. And this is kind of a great stage because this is also where you get to kind of see if you need more shapes. Like, it kind of gives you the ideas that you didn't have before of like what could go where. So like right off the bat, I'm thinking to myself like, okay, we could have these little sort of like, these could be headlights or something. I don't really know yet, but you know, you start thinking of more unique shapes you can actually go for. Which adds that upper level of detail to everything. I'll just do this. It's easier than putting another mirror modifier on. That's you know, that's the laziness that I encourage personally. You know, I allow myself to do that because I'm like, okay, you know what? If it's easier, then I'm doing it. It's like my mantra. If it's easier, then I'm doing it. Not always the best policy, though. Sometimes you gotta push it, you know? Sometimes you gotta really put in that effort, you know? But other times, have fun. Yeah, you know what I can do? I shift Y. And I can go down here and add like these two. And you know what I don't like? Is that these rims are thinner. Because they're just smaller pieces. They would actually maintain that sort of thickness. And I could make them a little bit more unique by pulling them back. And that creates a more unique shape. Okay. Oh, I could go all day. This is the real problem. That might be too much, because I'm not maintaining that. Yeah, that's nice. I'm gonna keep this at a certain level here. I don't want to go too far. In fact, I'm gonna simplify this shape down a little. this piece has been bothering me. I really don't like when things bevel upwards like that. Like, it's beveled in and then it bevels over. It's just too much going on. It's like the shapes would be separated in any kind of real world engineering scenario. Again, I don't know where I made up these rules or where I got these from, but you know, that's going to be something that you're hopefully as an artist going to do as well. Is just have your weird arbitrary rules. That is part of your style. Like that, there are so many things that are a part of your style. Your limits are a part of your style. Your taste is a part of your style. I mean, you know, the special skills that you learn, your like tricks that you're obsessed with, shapes that you're obsessed with, colors that you're obsessed with. These are things that actually determine your style pretty greatly. And I think that's a big thing, is that everybody wants to be a perfect artist, but what would you even do with that? What would that even mean? You know, being able to do everything, and then what would you do? What would you do? You'd have to choose at some point, you know? Embrace your limits and get rid of the ones you don't like, you know? Or work on the ones you don't like, I should say. But it's all a part of it. No getting around that. That's kind of the fun part, you know? I'm going to break off one more piece. Yeah, it's just going to create weirdness that I don't want. Okay. Whoa, that's weird. Does it work though? Yeah, kinda. Yeah, that actually will. Because if I seal up this now. Oh, that is so weird. Oh, ew, ew, ew. No, 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 and no, no, and no, and no. Please, please don't let me not undo anymore. Let me merge those. Let me go boom, by distance. Yeah, done. Okay, I did not like that. Okay. Sometimes, you know, sometimes you go a little too far. You get ahead of yourself and then you're like, whoa, reel it back. And that's okay, you know, that's part of it. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna take these. I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna just bring that out here. And you know what? Since this is kind of like a hatch, make it a little smaller. Bring it there. And this should go to there. No. And then orienting around the 3D cursor, do a ton. Oh, yeah. That I like. That I like a lot. Okay, that's like, I love when you get a good detail, because you'll look at things and it just creates such a nice silhouette. It's like, this is my favorite part. Like I told you, if you spend more time on the early phases, this isn't spent fixing anything. This is spent enjoying adding and creating more. That's what you're going for. And that's a really nice like little detail like right there. I love that. Let's see. Okay, you know what? I mean, I could keep detailing. I could, but there's a time to call everything, and this is a tutorial, not my ultimate art project thing. So what I'm gonna do is, yeah, I'm gonna bake it. I'm gonna send it. It's time. Notice how fast I went back on what I just said. Just keep a tally for me going here, because because I am thoroughly addicted to this part. This is like the most fun part. Like, you know, it can be so much fun to just keep detailing and adding more and doing more to it, and that's so fun. That's where I want you guys to get with it. You know, I want you to create stuff, and I want you to get thoroughly addicted to the detailing part because it's fun, not because it's a chore or you see it as fixing or making everything perfect. No, it's like this should be the most fun part. Like, get so much enjoyment out of this. Make it so that you can have fun during this stage, you know? Just a little something. Just a little something, just to... I think y'all are gonna like what I got in mind for the texturing. This technique coming up. It's gonna be pretty cool. Yeah, getting obsessed. Look at me going back and forth. Okay. I'm feeling pretty good. I think it's time. It's time I send it. Okay. So now we have our model, and it's all these different pieces, and they have a bunch of modifiers on them, and it's a lot, and I understand that. At this point, duplicate everything, save that. Always save that. Once you're at that phase, save that 100%. Even if you're not wanting to save duplicates, maybe your Blender runs a little slower, maybe you got a slower computer, whatever your reason is, do not delete that part. That's the one part you really gotta save. Because if you mess up this next stage, basically no way to fix it. Because I'm about to apply all these modifiers and everything, and once I do that, there is no going back. So having this here, another one that I can always call on with all my modifiers and everything, I can go back as many steps as I need to. That's a good thing, and I should, you know, that's something that you're gonna need to rely on. But this one is gonna get totally crazy. We're gonna do something that might seem scary. I'm gonna select everything, and I'm gonna type in apply all modifiers. Now here's the thing. You might not see this, and that's normal. So go to edit preferences, go to here and go modifier to start typing it in, and then modifier tools, and always save your preferences. You're gonna want to have that always in your Blender. Makes life so much easier. So let's see. Okay, yep, we're ready. Here we go. And a success. And everything is now one object. But if you notice, none of these are bevels anymore. I mean, they're bevels, but they're not editable anymore. This is all one static mesh. This is stuck the way it is. So that's why we need to save. I cannot undo anything I've done here, basically. I mean, I could, but you wouldn't want to even know the kind of work you'd have to do. So if you get to this point, make sure you're happy with what you're doing, or save your old work, because there is no way to come back from this except for saving a duplicate. But now we have our static mesh, and I'm pretty happy with that. So what I'm gonna do, and also on top of that, with having this, which is what we need to texture it in Substance, doesn't really matter, because also we can always go back and make a low poly version where we take off all the bevels and apply the same textures to it and have it be really nice, and have like a low poly model that looks really good that could run on, you know, an Xbox 360 but still look like a really good 3D model. I mean, that's why you go back and you look at Halo 3 and you're just like, still looks great. You know, there's reasons, there's strategies. Good modeling at its core, good texturing at its core should be able to supersede that. That's why you can even go back to something like Halo 1 and still feel it, or even Doom, or even Super Mario Bros. I mean, graphics are, you know, or any real kind of thing, or if we're doing movie examples, Jurassic Park, the invisible effects in Forrest Gump. You know, it's like if you do your work right, it shouldn't be a problem what kind of computer you're working with or whatever. I mean, people have worked with whatever you want to do. Somebody's done it in a more limited facet than you have. So that's a good thing, you know. And if they haven't, then great, you can be the first one to, because there's always a way around it. There's always a better way. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm not gonna move that, just because I might want to use that to create a low poly one, just to show you. I might use this exact model for the ship, so yeah, it's fine. We're not gonna have it centered out. I would do that after I textured. Okay, so now we can just go to our UV editor. I'm gonna select everything. You know what? I'm gonna create this, but we don't necessarily have to use this. Just go to Smart UV Project. Does a pretty good UV map for Substance Painter. Not really good for manual texturing. Great for Substance Painter. But what I also like to do is sometimes there's overlaps, and I always worry about that. So I just go set it to individual origins in my UV editor and scale it down just a little bit. But on this one, I think I might be good. I might try not doing that, but I might also try the auto UV unwrapping tools within Substance Painter, which are really, really cool. And I didn't trust them at first, and then people were like, hey, somebody in the comments was like, hey, why don't you just use that? And then I tried it, and I'm like, wow, that is so much better. So it was worth it. Now I'm going to save this actually here. And I'm going to create a new folder. I'm just going to call it Ship Textures. And I'm going to call this the tanker. And I basically export this as an FBX. So file, export, FBX. Make sure, oh, I didn't put selected objects. That's very important. So let me delete that. See, messed it up. I hit selected objects, making sure that only that's selected and only that's really visible. And you can also select visible objects or an active collection, but selected objects, name it, create a folder for it, and then export. And it'll only be that model as an FBX. And you'll see now that we're going to be able to open up Substance, bring this in, and texture it quickly. So let's hop into Substance and then go handle it over there. Okay, so now we're inside of Substance Painter, and you might see this window over here, and you might be like, okay, where do I start? How do I import my model? Well, your model is sort of the whole scene as a whole. I don't know if you've ever used the software before. I'm going to go through some basics here. So you can just go to New, and your model basically is your scene. It's built around your model. It has to be. It's not like Blender where you can add different objects and things like that. I mean, you can, but it's mostly about modeling a singular asset. So inside of here, I just set my document resolution to the highest. You can always change it, lower it, raise it. I always just set it there. I don't really change any other settings. Hold on. Okay, this is an old project, or a new one for you guys, but old for me. Let's see. Wow, look at me, I'm already forgetting. Reference, renders, do what? Oh, wait, that's another project. Oh my, my brain is breaking today. Okay, right here. There we go. Okay, so this is important. So I don't change any of this. You can do UDIMs. I don't really understand them all the way, but essentially they create different tiles with different resolutions. Great for creating like stuff for video games. It's not really a film thing, I don't believe. I haven't messed with UDIMs. Definitely go check them out. Maybe I'll figure that out at some point. But this is what I wanted to try. Auto unwrap. I've used it before. Haven't had problems with it, and it works pretty good. Let's see. I don't mess with physical size. I don't have any baked maps. Sometimes you do. I don't in this case. But yeah, auto unwrap is the one I want. I'm gonna hit OK. And now it has my FBX in here. Now navigation is a little different, and again, my brain is gonna have to figure it out. Oh yeah, Alt middle mouse and Alt left click left click to rotate while holding down Alt or Option on Mac, and then panning this middle mouse. A little different than Blender, and I think there is a way to change it to Blender, but I've gotten weirdly kind of used to doing this like this in Substance. Whoa, what happened there? I don't even know what happened there. Oh, what? Oh, my normals were wrong. Okay, you see this? The normals were wrong. There is a way to fix normals in Substance, but am I going to do it in here? No, I know how to do it in Blender, and I can fix that in 5 seconds. Again, if it's easier, I'm going to choose that. But yeah, let me go fix that real quick, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I just fixed that real quick. You know, flipping normals. I think I was showing that earlier, how to do that. Nothing you should worry about here too much. Very easy to do in Blender. Just select those faces that were invisible. They'll be red if you click on face orientation in Blender. Just flip them. That was just a mistake on my part. I checked all the normals, made sure they're all good. And yeah, it looks nice. I actually really like kind of the lighting engine within Substance. Sometimes it just gives you a different look at your model. But you might want to just jump in and start texturing and just going in. And if I show you, I'll just put a smart material on this real fast, just so you can see. Nothing happens. I mean, well, it did happen. There is a texture on it, and it is nicely UV unwrapped. You can see the texture detail is there. It's not the highest texture quality, but you know, that's more to do with my model having the resolution that it does, sort of in mesh. But that's okay. Again, you can also take your model, go into sculpt mode, turn on dynamic topology, and do little scratches and little notches and details and use alpha maps. And I could do that, but I just didn't feel like going that far today. But you can go as far as you want with the model, and that will vary on, as you can see, how much detail. But if you notice, I put a smart material on, and if you look at this, it's not supposed to just be rust. It's supposed to be like a red painted metal with rust showing, and this is just rust. And the reason is we didn't bake any maps. This model has nothing to work off of. So it basically just reads it as one big model, looks at the UV map, slaps on an image texture, and none of the smart properties of the material can apply. And one of the most powerful things about Substance is it being smart materials. I could easily just slap some unanimous rust texture on my ship. That's no problem. That's easy to do in Blender. I wouldn't come over to this software for that. This software offers smart materials, and they let you get a lot of unique effects that would be a lot harder in Blender or even another piece of software, but very easy over here. I mean, let me see. Okay, so the next thing I have to do is I have to go down, make sure texture set settings are here, and then I'm just going to hit bake mesh maps. And what this is going to do is it's actually going to read the edges and the lines in the mesh. You can see it's already kind of doing some with the purple outlines, and it's going to be able to tell where the edges are, where the crevices are, where different details are, so it can actually go and create these smart materials that are going to interact with your model and kind of act as one. Output size, again, 4096. I'm going to do that. Let me see. Height. I might check height just because it doesn't hurt to bake another map, but it'll take a little bit longer. But set this to the resolution that your computer's going to let you. I try to go as high as I can. I might even... It's going to run so slow, but I'm going to do it just to get the best. Using a cage, so this is like using your low poly model. It's, you know, not something we're going to do here, but high definition meshes. You can import other versions of your model with more or less detail to print onto this one, but we're not going to do any of that. We're just doing something very simple today. I'm just going to hit right down here. Once you're ready, bake selected textures. And you'll see it's starting to kind of go through each one and calculate things. And you'll actually see if there's problems while it's loading over here. If you start, like right now it's lagging. Okay, there we go. But if you start to see errors all over your mesh, like right there, I say, oh, it fixed, see? But you'll see like splotches or weird things or weird little problems on it, and you'll know there's a problem. Right now, I'm not seeing anything. In fact, I'm seeing it really baking a super fine level of detail, more than I'm used to. I'm kind of surprised. And this is what's going to let your model get those really, really cool materials. And wow, this is coming out clean. This is my first attempt. No errors. Usually I have problems, and I wish I had problems to show you, but I also don't feel like giving myself problems just to show you. But yeah, this is kind of what you're looking for. Everything to bake and, you know, have these clean lines around the edges. Because now, it's calculated, and I can just click return to paint mode and watch now. Now the smart material is reacting. This doesn't look so good. Let's try a different one just to see what happens. So you can go over to layers, and then there's this folder of this texture. I don't want that. I want a new material. Make sure to delete them or else they'll stack on top. Okay, yeah, so this is looking really nice. I am very, very much liking this. Let's see, I'm just gonna try different materials, kind of see what works with it, and it gives me a place to start, like a tank. This ship is called the Tanker, so... Ooh, yeah, so you can already see this gets some really nice results. And you might be wondering, okay, well, I don't want one material all over my thing. And that's normal. So we're going to figure this out again on the spot. Again, I'm trying not to use tutorials this time. Usually I would like stop recording and watch a tutorial. Hopefully I won't have to do that right now because I am going to show you how you can essentially isolate and create other materials for other parts. So I like this steel rust surface. That's really nice. So I'm going to put that on. Now you're going to see it's going to apply to everything, and that's not what we want. So I only want it to show up on certain materials. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a black mask, and that makes that invisible. It's like, if it's all black on that mask, then, you know, the whole material goes invisible. But if I paint white onto that black mask, and you'll see a little bit of white pops up on the texture. If I do that, then it reveals it. But we want to create a smart mask, and wait, not a smart mask. Well, you can do that, but we're not going to do that in this case. Let me see, what is it? Add mask. See, I'm figuring this out on the spot, and that's okay. There is a button for this. Am I going to have to go to a tutorial? I might. Okay, I figured it out, and it wasn't with the help of a tutorial, actually, because I was trying to find the tutorial, and I'm like, what did I see in it? And it was a long tutorial. It was one of those beginner ones, and you go through everything about Substance Painter. So I went through so many of those, and I was like, oh, I don't even know, but I figured it out. I went back, and I'm like, wait, it was something over here, and it is. It's polygon fill, and right here, if you see, you'll be on brush, and all this is what you'll typically see. But if you go over here and switch from brush to polygon fill, you now have these different options. Select a triangle, select a square. So I can actually go and essentially have that set to white. And I believe I can, yeah, I can just go up to individual faces and change them. But okay, I don't want to go through. You saw how I beveled everything. Let me take away that color selection. That, make sure I'm selected on polygon fill. But I don't want to go face by face, because what if I wanted this whole thing to be metal? Do I really want to? No, I don't. That would be terrible. That would be the worst. So I can go over to here, and it's mesh fill and UV chunk fill. So you can fill both. Because I did an auto UV map, I wouldn't use this. I don't even know what the UV map looks like, so I'd rather go here and go to mesh fill, and it'll fill a whole mesh. And I can just click, and it's that easy. And all of a sudden, I have pieces with different materials on them. And again, I didn't add a ton of detail to this, so we're not getting a ton of, what's it called? We're not getting a ton of automatic sort of functionality here, but that's okay. Or I mean a ton of detail. I don't know why I said automatic function, what? But no, I'm gonna add more of a black thing to that. Yeah, you gotta be choosy about where you put this stuff. Don't want to overdo it, and then you're stuck with something you're not happy with. And then you'll see if I turn this off. Yeah, it's applying different materials. Again, this isn't the highest texture resolution. This, again, it's about how much detail you add to your model, and I didn't add a ton. So yeah, I'm not gonna get as much, what's it called? As much edge detail and stuff. But this is a good amount for me because it's gonna look good from a distance. Again, I'm gonna be able to change the material below. Right now, I'm just trying to ultimately just get some basic materials going. The base level though, I do want to change. Only thing is, symmetry isn't a thing on this, or it is. I mean, you can do symmetry, but in this case, I'm just not going to be doing anything like that, just because it might be too much. Let me see. And I might be overdoing it, and that's okay. It's a part of the process. Again, remember, whatever you do on one side, you gotta do on the other. I'm even remembering that as I'm going. And you could also color ID maps. Like if you know where the different materials go, you can make a color ID map in Blender. Again, there's actually way better tutorials than I would ever be able to give on that subject. Just look up color ID in Blender. And it's basically just an image texture that wraps around your UV map that shows different colors. And then that's why I had that color selection. You can click and select a different color. Some scenarios that's going to be better. For this, for a quick one-day texturing thing, this is fine. This is going to work great. Ooh, that's weird. I'm going to leave that be then. Yeah, no resistance today. I'm just going at it. Letting it be what it's going to be. And yeah, so now we can start to see that we already have something going. Yeah, that's already like really cool. Like I'm already really liking that. But I'm going to add a window next. Let's add window. So we're going to find something that kind of gives me the vibe of, oh, glass visor. That's pretty dead on. Glass film, dirty mirror, glass. I'm going to try this one and maybe just change the color. And now you'll see, again, it wraps around the whole material. Ooh, that is intense. Looks like it's from Tron. But again, I'm going to go here and I'm going to add a black mask so it makes it invisible. And then I'm going to go over to polygon fill. And then I can just make sure that's selected and go boom. And the whole windshield is now covered. There we go. That'll hold for now. That'll hold. Okay, next material. I'm already going to just go right in and start making my next materials what they need to be. Steel painted. I need something that's... Yeah, that looks really nice. Again, all over. Black mask. Polygon fill selected. And now I can add my next material. Yeah, and again, sometimes you'll look and you'll see that you didn't do certain materials that you're supposed to do. Perfectly fine. Just go back and do it, you know? It's that easy. It's so easy to fly around and just do what you got to do on this. That's why I really love this technique for building stuff up in Substance. Just being able to go around and quickly kind of make things happen, you know? No, like I feel like that whole underside shouldn't even... Wow, okay. I am liking this. And again, I click here so I can just look out of that view. Wow, okay. I don't love the metal material I actually chose. So we're actually going to try to change that. I'm going to see if I'm able to do that. So if I add another... Let me add a different... Yeah, there's like steel ruined. Like these are too much. Steel scratched. Let me try that. Yeah, that looks so much better. Let me see if I can... Oh wait, let me see. Let me see if I can do this. Copy. And then paste. Oh, nice. Okay. That is perfect. Why is that showing like that? Oh man, are we gonna have to do that again? I think we're gonna have to do it again, but that doesn't really matter. I'll just cut this out. There was one more thing I wanted to do, decals. I'm just gonna show one decal, just so I can show how you can do it. So, okay, let's see. What I need to do is I need to create a new layer, a fill layer. right here. Up here. And you'll see it's a nice fill layer, and it's only affecting the color. It's not, there's no normal map or anything on it, which is good. That's what we want. And you'll see there's different areas. Let me see. Where is it? Where's the stenciling? There is a way to stencil. Oh my god, I'm killing it with the tutorial substance, aren't I? I'm like, where is that? Yeah, I don't, but again, this is more about my process, showing that you can figure things out. There's always a way. So there is a way to actually stencil this. Yes, I forgot. Add a black mask. Okay, so I forgot. You gotta add to your stencil map a black mask. That opens up a paint layer where you can then go into stencil. And I've already got these pre-made numbers, and there's a bunch of symbols in here. So let's just use this one. I like that. And you'll notice that there's a way to orient the view so that you can get more out of this. Oh yeah, you hold down shift, you can go to your different views. And if you hit numpad 5 or F5, there's a F1. Nope. I am about to get myself into a whole world of pain, aren't I? Yeah, this is really though what you gotta do. F2, F4, nope. F5, F6, nope. F7. Oh wow, okay. Nope. Turn to painting mode. But either way, if I hold down shift while viewing, or shift while doing the view, I can lock it along axes. And there is a way to make this orthographic. How do I do it? Is it F9? F10? Oh, jeez. Oh, it's rendering. What? I don't want to do that. I don't know substance rendered. Either way, I can also hold down S, or S, and then I can, with the middle mouse button, move it around. The right click, adjust it. Again, I am so rusty. And if I just pan, I don't even need orthographic, but there is a way to turn it on. I can find where I want to mark, and anywhere where it's white, you'll see. And I have my color set to white on this fill layer, so it'll fill in the white paint. Boom, I just added a stencil. And I could go all the way with this. I could go really far, but I'm not going to. And today I'm just going to show you how to get all this stuff back into Blender and how to load it in. But with that basic tool, stenciling, and messing around with that, you can really get a lot. So play around with that. Hopefully I'll write down somewhere. I gotta remember to write down somewhere how to do the orthographic view. Or actually, hold on one second. Let me look it up. Okay, so I was right. It's F5 and F6. Okay, that's just weird that I was having that viewing problem. Yeah, that shouldn't be a problem. So if you hit F5, perspective, F6, orthographic, it was just, I think it was something with my viewport was hiding it. And again, you can also, select the stencil. I'll pick this one for example. You can hold down S, and then you can right click to scale it, middle mouse to move it, and you can go, and you can mark it like that. But you can also click this symmetry tool, and I believe it should work then. Yep. I mean, numbers show it backwards, so you have to do that one manually, but you get the idea. And again, you can hold down shift. You can shift your view, F6 to get an orthographic. And then if you hold down S, you right click, it'll zoom it in and out. middle mouse will move it, and oh yes, I almost forgot. Left click will rotate, and if you hold down shift it'll lock. Alright, yeah, let's pick out a different stencil, for example. Let's let's do this one. Now that I have the symmetry working for me, I can move that over to here. I can S, middle mouse click, move it, I can rotate it a little, or scale it, and then rotate it a little. I'm going to scale it some more. Yeah. And then I'm just going to take the next couple minutes to do stencils, because now I want to, because I've gotten this far, and I'm going to make this ship look sick. Good for the thumbnails, you know what I'm saying. And then, yeah, I'll move it back. I'll show you how to move it back over into Blender, how to apply the textures, and then we'll get a that they're there, but they look really, really clean, which doesn't make any sense for something that's so rusted. It's like, what, did they just paint these symbols way later? No, that doesn't make sense. So we need a way to quickly grunge it all up. So I like to create all my stencils first, and of course you could add more. I mean, I didn't add many, just a couple, just to be accent points, but I want to dirty them up. So what I can do is the same place I got the stencils from, I can actually go and look. Oh, sorry about the city noises. So many city noises, I love them. Either way. Let's see. This is a decent one. I want to find something a little bit more stipply. Yeah, I like that. I just pick a random one, and then what I basically do is I just... Oh, you know what? Actually, instead of stenciling, what we could do is our alpha. Sorry. You want to go to your alpha, and you want to find something that's like a nice... Yeah, that's a really nice one. And then what I can do is I can just... wow, look at that. I forgot. Oh yeah, set it to black. And then what you can do is I want to scale it up a little bit so it's a little bit bigger. And I can just hit, oh, that's too much. Hit each one just a good bit. Make sure you keep your distance nice from your object so that it kind of maintains the detail level. And I'm just going to go over each stencil. Again, with that layer selected, I should be able to do all this easily. And just degrade everything. Just go through. I like to have symmetry off for this, just because, you know, you want... Oh, yeah. Because you want that non-symmetrical look to it. Let's see. Yeah. And right off the bat, yeah, I mean, you know, it's basically as far as I'm going to go. Yeah, that looks so much better now. And I can also take this and look at this whole layer and see that right there? That's your opacity. And just bring that down until it's nice. And in there, but not too much. And I might even take the fill layer, take that color, maybe add a little bit of yellowish to it, so it has like a little bit of tone to it. And then maybe just play around with this, just adjusting everything. And now that looks more built in, more kind of there, like it's been there for a while. Again, you can go really in with this, and that stenciling tool works for also creating bump maps, just different forms of maps. I'm still learning how to fully use this software. I just wanted to kind of show you what I would do when I'm wrapping up a model. And yeah, like this is our spaceship basically. This is what, 4 hours? About 4 hours of work with breaks and stuff in between. And I was able to get all this, and it just goes to show, if you really mess around with this stuff, you can go really, really far with it, and it's worth just toying around, you know. And this is kind of the most basic way to do it. I did the easiest way, you know. It can get more and more detailed and more complex, and you can really play around and end up with a lot. So let's get a render. I'm not gonna show how to do that. I got a lot of environment tutorials, a lot of tutorials that cover lighting and stuff, so definitely go check them out. But I am gonna make a final render, and I'll just wrap up after I'm finished that. Okay. I feel like I should show how to export. I said I was going to. Oh my god. Look at me. I'm forgetting everything today. So, okay, I should slow down. File, export textures. Just want to do that. Okay, so the final thing that I want to show is how to export textures out of Substance and bring them back into Blender. So this is actually the easiest part. Just go up to File, Export Textures. You'll see all this here. Make sure to set your path where you export. I'm going to set mine right here and right there. And then I'm going to title this, I'm going to create a new folder. I'm going to call it 4K because I'm going to do 4K textures. That's all I'm going to really need. Select that folder. I'm going to make sure that it all exports as 4096. That'll be 4K textures. Blender principled, and yeah, should be good to go. Oh, I'm gonna do a USD asset. I don't do USD assets a lot. This will actually be my first time trying it, but I believe that it just has the textures baked onto it, so that might actually be really nice to use. So now, once you did all that, should all be good. Am I gonna need all these? I'm not gonna need alpha. Not going to need emission. I'm only going to need roughness, metallic, normal, color, and what is this one? I don't know, but I'm going to definitely take it. And then just hit export. And you don't even have to click off on the other ones. It's not a huge deal. But it should be. I'm going to hit save settings too. And now I'm good to go. Now let's go back into Blender. Okay, now back in Blender. So this is my basic model, not UV unwrapped. I auto UV unwrapped in Substance, so if we put our textures on this, it actually won't work. They won't map correctly. So just hide that and create a new one. And we're just going to call it Final Ship. And if I am correct, this USD file should import everything pretty much perfect. Let's see, I put this here. And then should be able to click that, import. Oh wow, that messed up the scale. So what we're going to need to do is make sure that this is selected, go based around our 3D cursor and scale it down, Shift C, scale it down, and bring back our other model just so we can use it as reference. And I'm just going to keep scaling until this fits. Yeah. And it should fit perfectly if all is well. Yep, and I can just keep zooming in. Again, sometimes you gotta go in and do the manual work. I did not know it exported at that weird size. Again, my first time doing USD, but you can see if you just mess around with stuff, it will work out in your favor. Okay, that's perfectly scaled. You know, you can always figure it out. I think that's what. Oh wow. Oh my, that is horrible and wrong. Okay, so I know what the problem is. is I need to open up my shader editor because this is not imported correctly. Oh wow, I just didn't put any of the... Okay. That is so weird. Let me see. So let me go here to my ship textures. I'm clearly gonna have to do this myself, which is okay. Yeah, I'm gonna just delete all of this. So maybe not worth the try, or just do what I'm doing if you're okay with that. I'm gonna put in my base color. Does everything wrap correctly? It does. Perfect. Oh wow, I might have needed to put out higher than 4K, but okay, put out 8K, but I'm just showing you guys how to do this. So don't worry about all that. Don't even stress it. It's not a big deal. Metallic, super cool matte. This is going to define where things are metal. Let me see. If I unplug this, will this lose its UV map? No, it doesn't. Okay, well, I'm getting rid of that then. And make sure metallic is set to non-color. Pretty much everything besides your AO and your base color should be non-color. Any other node you're plugging in. The roughness, this is a huge one. So you can see right now, doesn't look super great. I'm going to put in roughness. This kind of does a lot of the legwork. Yeah, right there. See automatically how the window's now shiny, and yeah, it's not just like a flat texture. When I do this, now it all has its appropriate kind of, you know, weird, I don't know how to describe it. It's just the shininess. Like, I guess there's not really a better word for that. And then my favorite, the normal map, which adds all that bump detail. Without it and with it, so much better. And now you can see, you now have a spaceship in Blender. Okay guys, that's it for today. If you like this video, like and subscribe. You know, I have more content like this. This is a bit of a different format for me. I've done it a couple times, but I think people connect more to when I'm just talking and hanging out and having a good time, you know. I mean, I don't even know if you could call this a tutorial, more as just like a come along and make some with me, but yeah, 4 hours for this ship. You know, no reference, no nothing. Imagine what you can do if you're given reference, more time to detail it. Imagine what you could do in a week, 2 weeks. Who even knows? Maybe I got to try that, you know? Just going at it for a while. And yeah, you know, so if you like this video, just you know, follow for more. There's gonna be more coming, and I hope you guys like this. And also, if you go check out my Patreon, I'm gonna be putting this up there, so you can actually download this and take a look at it. And you know, I'm gonna do this, the substance file, and the textures and everything, so you can actually go and play with this and kind of make it your own. Maybe just mess around, just inspect it before you go and do it yourself. But you know, if you like that, you know, I hope you guys like the video. I am terrible at outros, especially when they're off the cue. Usually I'm scripted, but you know, here we go. Anyway, thanks for watching. I will see you guys later, and have a good one.